with Willie Miller, Billy Dodds and Liam McLeod.
And a very good evening from the Granite City. Resplendent Pittodrie Stadium, huge red and white banner has just been unveiled by the Aberdeen supporters in the Richard Donald stand beach end off to our left. It's covering the entire bottom tier of that huge stand, and that will greet the players who will be making their way out through that tunnel any second now, ahead of this first meeting between these two this season. Of course, it's been a little while since there was a clash between Aberdeen and United after United's single season stint down in the Championship, but this one of the very best fixtures that Scottish football has to offer. A historic fixture, and one that will be keenly contested as ever, I'm sure. Jim Goodwin's first game in charge of United was actually against Aberdeen. Barry Robson was an interim charge. The Dons won 3-1 at Tannadice. A very memorable Duke goal in amongst all of that. Jamie McGrath, currently in Aberdeen colours, scored against the Dons for United from the penalty spot in both of Aberdeen's visits there 2 seasons ago. Goodwin was in charge of a 4-0 hammering Aberdeen took the hands of United in the first meeting that season, as the supporters welcome the two sets of players onto the terrific looking Pittodrie playing surface. Fabulous conditions for the game. It is slightly windy but dry. The sun was out all afternoon just about. It's dipped now as the floodlights beam down on that lush green surface, and the players now up at around about the halfway line. The referee puts the ball down. Stephen McLean is presiding over things this evening. It's the second Premiership game of the season, and the United players, just the last couple there, forming the line to the right of the halfway line, Aberdeen to the left. The Dons in their red and white, United with the white shirts with the tangerine and black flashes, tangerine shorts, white socks with the tangerine tops. The United supporters have come here in fabulous numbers as well. They've sold out the away end in the south stand over on the far side. Nice short journey, just the hour up from the City of Discovery for this one, as Declan Gallagher goes over there to lead the applause of the fans. The teams, if you missed them earlier, 3 changes for Aberdeen from the side that started at Celtic Park last week. Palaversa, Duke and Sockler in for Clarkson, Shinnie and Nisbet. Nisbet misses out altogether. Mitov in goal, Devlin, Rubidic, Malloy and McKenzie. Palaversa and Nielsen, Keskinen, McGrath, Duke and Sockler, who took his goal really well last week. And Jamie McGrath, incidentally, you'll struggle to find 2 better assists for goals than we saw from him last week, particularly that first one for Sockler's strike. United, Trapanovsky in for Thompson, Walton in goal, Adebayega, Gallagher, Holt at the back, Stevenson, Sevelj, Babunski and Ferry, with Middleton and Trapanovsky supporting Sam Dolby, who got on the score sheet in his first for the club against Hibs last weekend in that dramatic 3-2 victory. Nicky Devlin skippering Aberdeen this evening. And we're just about ready to go. The final action in the Premiership for this Saturday. 3 to come tomorrow. As we go along, I'll keep you up to date with Annan, Queen of the South, and the derby at Gallagher in League One. But in the main, it is this game under the floodlights. Dusk falling, Aberdeen against Dundee United. The Dons, of course, know if they avoid defeat, they go top of the Premiership outright tonight, ahead of Celtic's visit to Motherwell tomorrow. United could go third and above Rangers with a win, as the Dons kick off left to right, shooting towards the red shed, Merkland Road end, and United towards the beach, and it's with Malloy who touches it to Slobodan Rubidic. It's been the dream start for Jimmy Tellin as Aberdeen manager. Does it continue tonight? We shall find out. Long ball up to the edge of the United box. McGrath loses out a 50-50, and Will Ferry's able to touch it back to his goalkeeper, and Jack Walton clears into the main stand on this near side. Willie Miller, will Aberdeen continue this fabulous start to the season? They're going to be up against a tough, resilient United side tonight, I think.
I think they will be, yeah. United seem to be, very strong defensively. Jim Goodwin's got them, well organised, disciplined, and I'm expecting that they'll try to look to hit in the counter rather than taking the game to Aberdeen. So there'll be a big responsibility in Aberdeen to take this game forward. But Aberdeen, the home side, they're in fantastic form. Their confidence must be really extremely high. And everybody bursting to get the game. 3 changes, 3 opportunities for these players to come on from the start and make their mark.
Jack Walton has it at the edge of his box. A long ball forward. Underneath it's Rubezic. Header down into the ground. Palaversa leaving it for Nielsen. It's back with Malloy. Short ball forward to Nielsen. And back to the edge of his own box for Rubezic, who takes it at walking pace. Rolls it out low to Devlin on this near side. Long ball from the Scotland international. Keskinen's gone in behind Ferry. Awkward bounce, but he's managed to hoist it in towards Sockler. But Walton comes and clutches on his 6-yard line. In the second minute here, Billy Dodds, nothing each.
I think Willie's right. Looking at the United setup, will be a sort of counter-attack. They want to play 3-4-3, but they're ended up 5-4-1. Ferry, early doors, getting pinned back with Lucas Stevenson, and that's because Duke and Keskinen are staying high. It'll be interesting to see if they can get the wing-backs high to push Middleton and Trapanovsky on. But so far, it looks like a counter-attack set-up for Dundee United.
Yeah, that perhaps won't surprise even their own supporters, as that long ball for United goes out for a throw into Aberdeen on this near side. It's just a fabulous sight. Pittodrie, barely a seat to be had. The away end, as I said, is bustling as well over there as Mitov clips the ball up to halfway. Sockler flicks on. Keskinen will chase. Ferry's the covering player, and he knocks it back first time to his keeper, who hits it high out to this near side. It's a difficult ball for Babunski to control, and it just was past him and out for a throw in. I see Jim Goodwin down there. He was Stephen Glass's replacement when he came into the club. He had that week from hell that saw him ejected from post. 5-0 defeat at Hearts, 6-0 defeat at Hibs, and a Scottish Cup tie right in the middle of that I don't think you'd like to talk about in this city anymore, Willie Miller.
Certainly not, and I'm not going to start tonight. Things are looking good at Pittodrie. I think it's a case of looking forward, looking in the past, just a very short past, not anything historic. That is well done and dusted. Jim Goodwin paid the price for some dreadful results all round about the same time. But hey, he's recovered well, hasn't he? He's had the opportunity at United, and he's certainly taken it.
He absolutely has. I think many were surprised he was given the reins at United. Another one of Scottish football's giants, just 4 weeks after losing the job here, as Malloy squares it to Rubezic. Couldn't keep them up, took them straight back to the top flight, and it's been their best start in a decade in the Premiership, as Rubezic knocks it forward, given away though, and it's Trapanovsky, and then Dalby, who goes down. Challenge from Nielsen, the ref's happy with it. Nielsen releases Keskinen down the right level with the United 6-yard line. Right hand side of the box, gets the nutmeg on Holt, still he goes, and Ferry puts it behind for the game's first corner, which goes Aberdeen's way on 4 goalless minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good piece of skill there from Keskinen. Excellent pass from Nielsen as well, in behind, and Keskinen gets a little nutmeg the outside of the boot to take it through the legs of Holt, but he's just overhit it a little bit, and good cover as well from the United defender. Out-swinging
right-footed corner from Antti Palaversa coming up on this main stand. Aberdeen right side, into the box it comes. It's nodded away out to this near side. Picked up by Palaversa again, swings it back into the box, but it's headed clear. Rubezic going after it, and he manages to knock it off Trapanovsky, and out of play it goes. Actually come off Rubezic last, according to the linesman on the near side, and that will be a Dundee United ball.
Even though it's as early as 5 minutes, this is not bad from United, because Aberdeen are going to come at you in some veiny form, and you saw it as soon as Nielsen spotted Keskinen, especially when Holt is drawn out into a wide area. He's at him 1v1, so they know when to kill the game. They just take the sting out to get the throw in and slow things down, just to get themselves into this game, Dundee United.
Declan Gallagher with a header, former Aberdeen player, talking about Jamie McGrath, formerly in Tangerine, as that's hoofed onto the main stand roof here by United, and out for an Aberdeen throw-in, which skipper for the night, Devlin, will take. Graham Shinney and Leighton Clarkson have dropped onto the bench, as we were hearing from the Aberdeen manager. Kevin Nisbet out with injury, as Palaversa knocks it back to Rubezic. But given the impact of both Sockler and Duke in particular when they came off the bench at the start of the second half in Glasgow last week, it would have been no surprise to see both coming in, regardless of injury concerns, as Rubezic goes long, but it's a poor ball and comes all the way through to Walton. And a huge week for Aberdeen. They've got Rangers here on Wednesday, then the League Cup semi-final against Celtic a week today. In fact, that's a 5:30 kickoff as well at Hampden next Saturday evening, and it's back in the gloves of Walton. United unbeaten on the road, and just the one loss in the league this season. That came at the hands of Rangers at Tannadice last month. That long ball forwards flicked on by Dalby, trying to get Trapanovsky involved, but it's come back to Mitov. Rolls it just outside his box for Palaversa, and along the grass out to Devlin, who just faints away from Glenn Middleton, who's been in excellent form in recent weeks. And it's back with the Aberdeen goalkeeper. It is goalless here in the very early exchanges between these two old rivals. We haven't seen it as regularly as you would hope because of United's travails and 2 relegations over the course of the last 8 years, but when it's on the card, it's always something to relish, as the two guys to my right know only too well. Long ball forward is won in the air by Lucas Stevenson, heads it up to halfway. United can't make it sit at the moment. McGrath goes down, loses out to Stevenson in the 50-50. Palaversa wins it back in double quick time though. Rolls it to McGrath, first time ball down the left hand side. Duke's not getting there, and it goes out for a throw-in over on the far side for United, and Emmanuel Adebayega is over it. Plenty of endeavour out there right now.
You can see that. It's like two teams, as we said, with momentum, with confidence, but they know they're both doing well, so they're kind of like, it's like a wee chess game, just manoeuvring, isn't it, to find the best position. That's what's happening just now.
Topi Keskinen driving forward up to the edge of the United box, going down the left hand side, low ball across, too close to the goalkeeper, who holds on. Really good positive play by the Finnish winger there. Goalless also in the early exchanges in that League One derby between Annan and Queen of the South, though I noticed the former Queen of the South manager Willie Gibson's been booked inside the opening 2 minutes of that one, as Keskinen's run down the left hand side eventually comes to nothing. But here come United with Dalby, fires it quickly out to Middleton, who's now driving down the left hand side. He's got some space, it's a low ball across, cut out by Rubidzic, and out for a United throw-in level with the Aberdeen 18-yard line. Then get Middleton involved in this game, they could be on to something. United, he's, as I said, he's a man in form. Perhaps over the course of his career he hasn't shown it often enough, as Ferry comes over to take this long throw to try and put the Aberdeen defence inside their box under pressure here. Doesn't have much of a run up to the wall of the main stand, just off to the left, the United left hand side. Aberdeen have everyone back, into the box it comes. It's come off Duke's head, I think, nodded away by Rubidzic, came back towards his own goal, picked up by Holt, left hand side of the box. His ball across is timid and it's cleared by Nielsen, and Keskinen fancies his chances driving forward here, but it's well defended by Vitko Sevelj, who gets there first and goes back to Walton, who fires it forward with the right foot. It's going over the head of McKenzie. Trapanovsky's chasing, Dalby's onto it, right hand side of the box, rolling it back to Stevenson, over to that right hand side. Trapanovsky's ball in, cleared by Malloy, and McKenzie's able to chip it forward. A couple of little positive bits of play from Dundee United just in the last minute or two, and they've won it back again in the midfield with Ferry. Rolls it to Stevenson, onto the right hand side touchline for Trapanovsky. His ball looking to return it to Ferry, he was underlapping, comes off, or goes straight to McKenzie, who then knocks it off the United man, Stevenson, and out for a throw-in for Aberdeen right in front of the Dundee United supporters over there on the far side. 9.5 in, goalless.
Yeah, I think Jack McKenzie's had a really good season so far, and he's built on his form of last season as well, which was decent. But at times he's got to position himself better. You know, that long ball just right over the top of him, in behind. The first goal, I think it was, at Celtic Park as well, it was curled in behind him as well. He's still got a little bit of learning to do on the defensive side, but he's had a really good season, really good start to the season. Just needs to, you know, just learn that position defensively a little bit better.
Rewarded by that Scotland call-up, of course, the performances that he is producing on a regular basis. United have a throw-in which Adebayega takes and bowls it back to Gallagher, who finds Holt, who rolls it back to his keeper. And Jack Walton on loan again from Luton Town. He has it, it's a long ball with the right foot down that right hand side. The header won well by Malloy. Wants to beat Trapanovsky to it. United have it with Stevenson on the far side. They're getting some good possession. It's been a good few minutes for the visitors, seeing plenty of the ball. As Holt knocks it to Will Ferry on this near side. Middleton's on his bike here, if he can get in behind Devlin. He has done. Middleton, low ball across, comfortable for Mitov to take. Middleton apologising to the two United players in and around the box. He couldn't find either of them And it's Aberdeen with Palaversa rolling it out to Devlin on this near side. It's been a good spell though for United, Billy.
Yeah, it has. So starting to bed into the game, get a bit of possession and create a few openings.
Here comes Keskinen up the other end, driving into the penalty area, down towards the byline. He overhits the touch and goes behind for the United goal kick.
Yeah, you were touching on where they're getting into position on the part United. That you could see right away. They've probably mentioned it, I would think, Willie, in the dressing room. Look, Aberdeen are at home, big crowd, going to come at us. Let's get a nice 5 to start. We get through the first 5-10 minutes, then get a bit of the ball, and then we can make our passes and try and get Glenn Middleton and Trapanovsky into the game, and that's exactly what's happened. Middleton should have done better. They only had one target. I know there was two, Liam, you said it, away out at the far side of the box, but Dalby was only one central, or it had to be in the perfect ball, and he just put it into the goalkeeper's arms at the front post.
Yeah, but it was poor, wasn't it? You know, the delivery was poor, and you know, that's the other fullback this time, Devlin, being caught a little bit with a clip over the top of his head as well. So you know, both fullbacks very good at going forward, but you know, it's just that defensive side of the game they've got to be thinking a little bit more.
Well, such has been the brilliant start that Yumi Tellin has made. He's won 13 out of 14. He's actually managed in that time to win 2 more games as Aberdeen manager than Jim Goodwin managed in his 35. He's gone beyond Alec Miller, Stephen Glass. His next win takes him above Mark McGee's entire win total, or tally, as manager here at Pittodrie. A bouncing ball in the midfield, which is picked up by Nicky Devlin for Aberdeen into the centre circle for Nielsen, who rolls it to his right square to Palaversa, and then back to Nielsen, dinks it forward, looking for Devlin, who's in an advanced position here. Takes the touch, rolls it back to McGrath, finds Sockler, looking to return it to Devlin. Low ball to the right of the box, but doesn't find him. Ferry gets there, back to his keeper, and Walton sends it out for an Aberdeen throw-in, level with the edge of the D of the United box. Taken by Keskinen quickly to Palaversa, now Nielsen to Palaversa again. To Nielsen, back to Palaversa, who got that dramatic late winner against Hearts last time Aberdeen played here. Think ball forward is headed out for a Don's throw-in, which Keskinen takes quickly again. And then Palaversa, the one-time £7 million man signed by Manchester City from Hajduk Split, his first club. As Nielsen sweeps it back to Gavin Malloy, just to the left of the centre circle. There were spells in the last couple of games, in the first half in particular, Aberdeen perhaps not up to their very best against Hearts and Celtic, as McKenzie picks up left-hand side of the box, left angle, looking for a teammate, gets an option in Jamie McGrath, takes it for a run down the left, a delicate cross ball, couldn't quite find Duke at the back post, and he goes behind for a United goal kick. It is 0-0 at Pittodrie on 14 minutes.
Yeah, not any great chances, not any great scoring chances as yet. So although it's been a lively game and both sides are looking to get forward, you know, pretty quickly and early, you know, in the penalty box, both sides have been solid defensively and maybe lacking creativity, you know, in the final pass as well. That's maybe about half a dozen final passes in and around the box, you know, from maybe not half a dozen from each side, but at least 2-3 from each side that they should have done better with.
That's a great first time ball to Glenn Middleton, driving down the left-hand side, up against Devlin, left of the Aberdeen box, now level with the 6-yard line, pulls it across, and McKenzie gets there to boot it to safety, with Trapanovsky waiting for a tap in behind him. Really good quick-fire counter there by United.
Well, that time, Willie, he did pick the right position, because there's only Trapanovsky going to get into the box. Unluckily for Dundee United, it's a brilliant layoff from Dalby, but he can't make the box, and he's flicked it up the wing to middle. He's gone, and he's put in a good ball this time, which he's trying his best, Trapanovsky, but I'll tell you what, McKenzie does well and absolutely busts a gut to get there first and knock it for the corner, or a throw-in, sorry.
Yeah, long throw-in from Ferry, as good as a corner, in towards the 6-yard box. Devlin with a header, but it's come off the United man last, and goes behind for the goal kick. It's come off Kevin Holt. So pretty even at the moment, Willie, would you say, in the early exchanges?
I would say so, yeah. I mean, I think it looks like two teams that are in form, two teams with confidence. You know, a couple of sides that want to get forward early as well. I think that's been a bit more refreshing for me generally in Scottish football, is that, you know, the coaches are forgetting about this. The goalkeeper gives it to the two centre-backs and then builds it up from there. Now, I've been on about it for some time, and it's much more direct. Now, that doesn't mean it's poor football, it's just more direct football. You know, you want to get the ball down, you want to take on the responsibility of going forward. And I think that's what we're seeing here tonight. You know, both sides want to get forward early, still playing, you know, decent football, still making the passes, and it's much more, it's easier in the eye to watch, isn't it?
It's balanced on the build-up, Willie, isn't it? If it has to go direct, they'll go direct. If it's on to play, go and play. They're definitely picking away both teams, and they've got quality.
Babunski is being picked off. Keskinen finds McGrath at the right angle of the box. Still it's Jamie McGrath who's brought down, level with the penalty spot. Right-hand side of the area by Ferry, and Aberdeen will have a free kick in a very attacking position.
Just a little bit wide though, isn't it? But it's a good position to test that United defence. Brilliant skill from Jamie McGrath, isn't it? You know, Ferry thinks he's going back the way. It's a little shuffle with the right and left foot, and leaves Ferry with a little bit of egg in his face going into that challenge and taking Jamie McGrath out of the game.
That was like you a few years ago on the dance floor, Will.
I'd like to have seen that. It will be a Don's free kick, then Palaversa over. It's just about a yard away from the right-hand line of the penalty box. As Aberdeen attack the goal to our right, we are the back of the main stand, so the opposite side from the TV cameras here. Palaversa will take. Two men in the United wall, and Trapanovsky and Middleton, as we await the breakthrough to be made by one of these teams here. And Palaversa waits for the signal from the referee. There it is, and right-footed free kick, drifts it in, and then headed over the bar for an Aberdeen corner by Gallagher. The pressure will remain.
That's the other thing though Willie's touching on. I think with the balanced football, when it's on to build for the backs there, it's on to be direct. Both teams, especially defences, know that the others have quality, so the defence have got to be switched on, and Gallagher had to be there.
Another corner then, this time from the left. Aberdeen's second of the evening. It's a low one, McGrath's dummy, and then cleared by Middleton. They try to work something from the training ground, and it goes out for a throw into Aberdeen, level with the United penalty spot on the south stand side, over on the Don's left. It's McKenzie bowling it short to Palaversa, looks up at the box, bends it in, left by Gallagher, cleared by Holt. Good spell of pressure this from the home team. It's the most concerted of the game so far. It's 18.5 in, and it's still nothing each as Nielsen rolls it to his right for Devlin, and back to Rubedzic, who plays it right to left of the circle for Malloy. Now it's with Palaversa, and back to the Irish defender. Squares it to Rubedzic, and across halfway to Nielsen on the near side. Misunderstanding though, Sivert Nielsen giving it away, and it's picked up by David Babunski across the halfway line. Steps away from Sockler, and then out to Will Ferry. It's a clip ball down the left-hand side for Middleton. He can't get there, and it goes behind for the goal kick, and it remains goalless of Pittodrie. A couple of weeks ago there were moths and dragonflies attacking us in Zagreb. It's wasps tonight. There's a wasp, seems to be attracted to something up the back here.
Probably
I thought they'd have all gone by now.
That big cream cake that Dodgy's got.
I don't blame me, you were talking to the biscuits. Come on now, let's get out there. I'll take the derriere.
There's Gavin Malloy shifting it short there to Palaversa, then back to Malloy, and now out to Rubedzic, who's midway inside his own half, right of centre, rolls it to Malloy, and then he goes long for McKenzie, headed away by Lucas Stevenson. Then Palaversa's headed out to the far side, it breaks back to Palaversa, and now it's with Nielsen. And then down the left goes Duke, McKenzie in support. Duke level with the penalty spot. Scored that fabulous goal against United last time these two met. He's gone down, no free kick. United clear. Dalby with the challenge, and the ref didn't like it on Gavin Malloy, who would have been relieved to hear the whistle there, because I think Dalby's claiming it was just good, strong striker play. The ref saw it as a foul and a free kick to Aberdeen, which they've taken quickly. It's 0-0.
He's not got much space and room. You know, United definitely restricting that space and room for Duke to use his pace. So far we haven't really seen it, have we? He's trying to manoeuvre the ball there to you know, get a little bit of space himself, but he needs room. I think he needs room in behind, and United are restricting that.
I think it's going to come from one of the fullbacks going into positions that are different, and I saw Devlin once, twice, which pulled Holt, and it pulled Ferry forward, and Sokler made a lovely little run after it just to bend in the channel. So it's going to take something different, somebody going into a different position, because Stevenson has been pulled right back. The centre half saying you stay here just because of what you're talking about, Will, with Duke. So no space to run into. So Duke might get a bit of space if somebody else makes a bit of movement.
Foul there on Sevelj, who, like Antti Palaversa, was at Hajduk Split as a youngster. Both similar age, they'll know each other pretty well. I think Sevelj has been up in Aberdeen actually visiting Palaversa. Goes out for a throw-in on the near side for United, which Will Ferry takes. Bowling it forward for Middleton. Devlin trying to cover. Devlin seems convinced it's going out. I think it might just have gone out for a throw-in down by the corner flag. It has done. Is an Aberdeen ball. Devlin, I think, was anticipating that going out for the goal kick. Aberdeen eventually clear their lines, and it's Sokler flicking on. Ferry's header forward. Nielsen with a header. Up into the air from Ferry with the left foot. Now Trapanovsky trying to get it under control over at the right angle of the Aberdeen box, looking for support. He's got it from Stevenson, but he turns away from goal instead and knocks it back to Adebayoga. Almost at the end of the first quarter of this one. No goals, no real saves for either keeper to make as yet. It's rolled down the right hand side for Trapanovsky. Drops the shoulder, level with the 6-yard line, crosses, cleared by Malloy with the foot. It was a low ball in. Aberdeen get it away. Adebayoga's header into the midfield, which is taken on by Keskinen, but this touch on the chest just goes straight to Adebayoga, who can launch it forward, and it comes all the way through to Dimitar Mitov. Aberdeen 0, United 0.
United are getting some space in the wide areas, though, aren't they? You know, the difference in formation as well, with Aberdeen just having the back four. The two full-backs have been asked questions, and defensively I don't think they've answered them particularly well in the early exchanges.
I think Jim Goodwin's got to be giving that away from home against the side sitting joint top of the league. He's got to be really happy with the way his side is settled tonight.
Yeah, it's cagey though, isn't it, from both teams. Aberdeen are trying to force a little bit, getting those full-backs forward. Dundee United know that, so you know that there's space going to be there, and that's why Trapanovsky and Glenn Middleton, if you can get them in those forward areas, will find that space. It's been difficult so far in the match a few times, and Aberdeen find it hard.
No, Keskinen, brilliant touch from the long ball. It's a really good challenge though by Kevin Holt. Keskinen almost managed to free himself of him after he plucked it out of the sky beautifully.
Yeah, it's a brilliant challenge though, you know, the Aberdeen fans looking for a penalty, but no way. Great tackle.
Well, they're checking for a potential penalty, but here come United on the counter. Low ball into the Dons box is cleared by Malloy and out into the United supporters over on the far side. We had Dundee United throwing, but they are checking for a possible penalty here. But I think Willie's spot on. I think it's a really good challenge by Kevin Holt. Willie had a chance to see it back.
Yeah, he gets the ball, he goes in with the left foot. The ball goes in the direction that he's made the challenge. You know, it goes towards the Aberdeen goal. So, yeah, he get caught out initially with a long ball over the top, and Keskinen's onto it. A decent touch from Keskinen, but a good challenge.
Well timed.
Yeah,
no penalty. No surprises there. And another long throw opportunity for Will Ferry on the far side. Long throw into the Aberdeen box, flicked away by Malloy, and then Sokler smashes it away. Adebayoga takes it down, good control, right of the centre circle, long ball to the Aberdeen box, which Mitov comes and claims just inside his area and launches it forward quickly, looking to get Topi Keskinen away, but Holt's going to get there first, and he turns it back to Walton, and then dinks it back out to Holt on this near side over the head of Keskinen, and it's a long ball from Holt up towards halfway. Dolby flicks on, Malloy's the covering player, comes across and launches it onto the roof of the main stand. United players getting some applause from their manager down there, Jim Goodwin. You can see Lee Sharp, his assistant, and Dave Bowman, who's synonymous with Dundee United.
It's been the story of the game though, Liam, isn't it? Going back to that Keskinen chance where I was saying that Aberdeen are finding it hard to break United down, but when they do and they're on the attack, then it leaves space. So from that Keskinen chance, the whole challenge, then United found the space on the right hand side for the shot. So that's the story so far. Caught in a minute, really.
Another long throw for Ferry, bowls it in, a bit more pace this time. United win the first header, but nobody could get on to the second one, and it's clear it was Declan Gallagher flicked it towards the Dons goal. Adebayoga has it, and goes back to his goalkeeper. We played almost 26 at 0-0. And it is Selvelge with the long right foot raking ball down this near side. Devlin with a header, flicks it away from Will Ferry, and then launched forward by Devlin. Sokler goes after it. Holt wins the header though. No joy for Aberdeen at all in the final third at the moment. United are struggling with that themselves, but they look the more structured team at the moment, the visitors. Rubičić and Dalby both misjudge the long ball forward, and Malloy presses it into midfield for Nielsen, and now it's with Keskinen, who finds McGrath. McGrath with a low ball short to Devlin, then back to McGrath. It's part of that United side that went down a couple of years ago. Palaversa picks up, big switch towards Duke, too high for Duke, and it will be a throw into United over on the far side. Nothing each.
It's a bit of struggle for the home side, isn't it? Trying to break United down. Very, very well organised. The five at the back. That's what I was expecting. You know, having listened to some of the commentaries, and you know, knowing Jim Goodwin as well. And when he goes to that five, and he's coming to a place that is red hot in terms of, you know, the confidence that Aberdeen have, then he's going to make sure that he's not giving Aberdeen any opportunities in the early stages. And that's exactly what's happened. Five right across the back, making it very difficult. Four in front of them as well, and Aberdeen struggling to break them down.
He said he wanted to come here and quieten the crowd. United's performance so far, doing their best to do that. Palaversa knocks it forward, cut out by Gallagher. An awkward bouncing ball for Will Ferry. He's onto it, he goes down. No free kick though. Aberdeen play on, slipped to McGrath. Selvelge is all over him. McGrath still has it. Short ball to Duke, he wasn't anticipating it, and he gives it away. United win it back, and then there's a free kick eventually given to the visitors over on the far side. 0-0.
Yeah, it's become scrappy, but as I said, it was really, the story was told a few minutes ago when Keskinen gets a touch, thinks he's in, tackle, United counter. That is what they set out to do, both teams. Aberdeen to pick away, try and create, United to break it up and try and counter. So no chances as yet, no goalkeepers, very safe to make. In fact, no real great chances, let's be honest.
United's last win here was 3 and a bit years ago, Scottish Cup quarter-final. They won 3-0. Their last league win, we've got to go back over a decade for that. That was also 3-0 on the opening day of the 2014-15 season. It's just one win in 8 visits since then. United are up the pitch again. They've got another throw-in, and Will Ferry goes over to take once again, level with the Aberdeen 18-yard line in front of his own fans over there. And just drying the ball down. The pitch was well watered beforehand. This is going to be a long throw again into the Aberdeen box. Comes off a United player first again. Palaversa trying to get onto it. It's nodded back towards the 18-yard line, where it's picked up by Devlin for Aberdeen. He's looking to get Keskinen away, and he's done so. Keskinen now in the United half, driving against Adebayoga, looking for support, driving up to the edge of the box. He shows too much of it to Adebayoga, who gets it clear. He didn't look to his left. He'd Duke and Sokler there. He decided to go it alone, and he ran out of space and time, and Adebayoga plucked it back off him.
Didn't get a head up because he had a willing running, and Sokler, will it?
Yeah, if he sees it early, I think it's an early pass, and Sokler's away in behind that United defence. But he doesn't lift his head. He doesn't know that Sokler's there. Duke's behind him as well, but for me, it's the early pass to Sokler that he's missed.
Mackenzie back down the line on the far side to Duke. Now to Nielsen, midway inside United territory. Exchanges passes with Palaversa. And back to Nielsen. And switched out to Rubičić on the near side. Very advanced as the big centre half. Plays the short, easy ball to Palaversa, who does likewise to Nielsen, who looks up, and it's a switch out to the touchline for Nicky Devlin. Ferry comes to meet him. Devlin rolls it back to Palaversa. Into Devlin, onto the chest of Keskinen. Tried to return it to Devlin, but he goes to ground. Optimistically looks at Stephen McLean for a free kick, which he's not getting, and Middleton will get a free kick for a foul by Palaversa, who's going to be booked as well for the professional foul. And Glenn Middleton, he knew he was beaten all ends up there by the United number 15. It is 0-0. We're on the half hour.
Yeah, it had to be a yellow. It wasn't. Middleton did really well though, and Palaversa's just dived into the challenge, Middleton's too good to go racing in like that. You've got to steady yourself and and try to be in control of your body movement. And you know, when he's taken to the cleaners, he's just lost it up top, isn't he? And he's brought Middleton down. Yellow card.
Keskinen's got to be a bit more streetwise, hasn't he? A bit more vision about him when he gets the ball, instead of the head's down all the time. I know he's got great pace, he's got assets, but he needs to add that to his game.
He's still very raw, isn't he, when you see him? Keskinen, the second most expensive signing in Aberdeen's history, behind Billy's old teammate Paul Bernard. He goes behind for a goal kick, and Mitov takes quickly to Malloy, and now it's with Nielsen. And on the left-hand side, Sivert Nielsen just taking it up towards halfway. It remains goalless, incidentally, in the south of the country, between Annan and Queen of the South, 0-0 in the League One. In the Premiership, also goalless. It's Duke for Aberdeen. Finds McGrath, level with the penalty spot. Back down the line for Devlin, and then infield to Palaversa. He finds Nielsen. Nielsen under tremendous pressure from Sebelj. The referee didn't like the challenge, so free kick to Aberdeen midway inside the United half. Goalless in 32. As I say, like it is in League One, both sides relatively struggling. Queen of the South in 7th, Annan at the bottom. Here come Aberdeen with Devlin, the right-hand side of the box. Poor cross ball, which Malloy will try and recycle over on the far side. Too much on it, with 3 in red waiting in the middle.
Low and driven, surely. You know, it's Palaversa's taking it really quickly. You know, it's a good roll out to Devlin, and he doesn't have to think too much about it. Just draw it across the face of the goal. That can easily come off a United player and end up the back of the net, let alone finding one of his own teammates. But it's dinked towards the back post. There's no one there either.
Malloy for Aberdeen, down the left for McKenzie. McKenzie driving forward, left-footed ball comes in, Gallagher misses it, Sockler touches it back, and it's rifled towards goal by Palaversa, but wide. Caught it well enough.
He did.
But off target, 0-0.
Yeah, I think he's trying to be too precise, to be perfectly honest. I think he smashed that one towards goal. You know, and you hope that you find an area that the goalkeeper isn't covering. I felt that he's tried to hit it too hard, possibly as well. It ends up, you know, a good couple of yards wide. Just get on target. I mean, it's great work by McKenzie down the left-hand side. You know, strong and powerful, decent cross into the box, and Palaversa's got to do better.
There's Duke for Aberdeen, middle of the park, midway inside the United half. Looking for support, gets it from Devlin on the near side. Palaversa showing himself as an option. Devlin stepping in field, he's driving away from Middleton, rolls it to McGrath in the box. His effort scuffed, Sockler tries to head it back to him, and United get it away. It's been better from Aberdeen the last few minutes. First real effort and goal for either team was that Palaversa one, which went wide. McGrath loses out in the midfield. Middleton picks up on this left-hand side. It's Jack McKenzie who's covering over at right back from left back there, and there's a foul on Middleton by Duke, says Stephen McLean. That's a free kick to United just inside Aberdeen territory in front of the dugouts here.
It's a good couple of minutes for Aberdeen, up to pace, up to intensity, and got that Palaversa shot to show for it. They're starting to create good areas now. McGrath having a strike and then just spinning to Sockler, who lays it back, but it wasn't into the path of Aberdeen players, into the United player who managed to clear. But a little bit better from Aberdeen the last couple of minutes. I had a little change of wingers. Duke having a wee spell over here, trying to get Keskinen in it over on that far left-hand side.
Nielsen for Aberdeen, driving across halfway, rolling it down the left-hand touchline for Keskinen. He's playing in his favoured position right now on the left-hand side. We're going to take on Stevenson. It was one way, then the other, puts it across, and Adebiyega puts it behind for the corner.
Yeah, it's better though, isn't it? You know, a little bit of room. Obviously, United on the attack and perhaps getting caught out a little bit. But, you know, Keskinen looking comfortable there, showing good skill, good close control, twisting and turning and creating the space and getting the cross in. Good block at the near post though, as well. So United still really strong defensively.
Palaversa with Aberdeen's latest corner over on the south stand side. In swinger with the right foot coming up. Congested 6-yard box. In from Palaversa. Beats everyone. Sails behind the reverse side of the goal frame for a goal kick to United. Final 10 minutes of the opening 45 here at Pittodrie. Aberdeen 0, Dundee United 0, as it is in League One between Annan and Queen of the South.
Yeah, it was a deep corner, and it was think it was Dalby marking Devlin, and Devlin tried to free himself up, just couldn't get a yard to get a bit of motion to try and get the head on the ball. But it has been better. It's a different test for Aberdeen this week, Willie. They're going to Celtic Park last week, they're sitting and they're countering, and they did it with great effect. Suddenly they flipped it and it said, right, you come and break us down now. So a little bit of a different test, but they're finding it hard even when they get good areas to hit the final ball or a final good pass to break Dundee United down so far.
They've generally come through these tests this season, Aberdeen, and teams have come here, the low block they call it, and they've managed to pick up victories against teams who have tried to nullify their threats, done it in different ways. I mean, Hearts didn't come here and play like that. It was a very different game. Again, it wasn't a brilliant first half Aberdeen performance. And it goes out to play for a throw-in for United over on the far side, level with the edge of the D of the Aberdeen box. Sam Dalby there, who has been preferred to York van der Sande in recent times. Seems more mobile than van der Sande, to be fair. And it's going to be another long throw from Will Ferry. The Aberdeen supporters think every time United get a throw in that area, Will Ferry's at the opposite end of the pitch, so he's taken a while to get out there to take this. And he's on it now. And if these are as good as corners, they've had about 6 of them, I think, United in the match. Long Will Ferry throws around the edge of the Aberdeen box. This one comes into it as well. Headed away by McKenzie, helped away by Sockler. Keskinen gives chase. Stevenson gets it back to Adebayega, fires it forward. Devlin with the header away. United fans felt there was a foul there on Trapanovsky. In comes the cross ball, and the header goes over the crossbar. And it was good play by United. Dalby got in the end of it, 6 yards from goal, and it's over the crossbar. Aberdeen take the quick goal kick. McGrath picks up, left of the centre circle, short ball to Nielsen. Rolls it to McKenzie. Keskinen on the left-hand touchline. Forward to McGrath. McGrath with a little dink into the box is headed away easily by Holt. And then Trapanovsky loses out to Nielsen, but illegally so, says the referee. Was the challenge anyway, and that's a United free kick. It is 0-0 at Pittodrie with 7 to the break.
I think it was a diving tackle with the head there from Nielsen, wasn't it? He just lost his balance completely. But again, you know, good build-up, falls to Jamie McGrath. But you know, a poor effort from McGrath to find. I think it was Sockler he was trying to find, and given, you know, from a really good position, giving the ball away. And it's just too easy for United at times to defend when Aberdeen do, you know, get a bit of momentum and you know, thread the passes together and manage to get in and around the box.
Long ball for United, looking for Trapanovsky. It bounces behind. The referee is on the scene. I'm not sure exactly what went on there. Jack McKenzie's got his arms outstretched. I think he feels Trapanovsky's fouled him.
He did. It was flicked on, and then I think it was McKenzie trying to usher it out. Had to deal with it, and Trapanovsky just gives him a little bump. McKenzie wants a free kick. He's not getting it. You need to get a corner.
Yeah, this is their first corner of the evening. Again, right in front of the huge visiting support over there on the far side. And an in-swinging corner coming up here for Dundee United. Another congested box. It's rolled short though. Played out to Babunski, the edge of the box. And it's a dreadful ball by Babunski, although Holt might be able to salvage it on the near side. Not quite. Throw in Aberdeen. Now Babunski has a lot more quality than he just displayed there. We're talking about a guy that came through the Barcelona academy. He was teammates with Adama Traore, Alejandro Grimaldo, these kind of players. That was very un-Barca-like.
It was, because he whipped in. He missed a trick because Middleton, who took the corner and rolled it short, then carried on his run. And I'll tell you, Babunski spots him. There's nobody picking him up for the corner. Just rolls it to the man next to him. He rolls it to Babunski. He decides to whip it. We could have just threaded a pass through and put Glenn Middleton in.
Mitov, the edge of his box.
Willie's right to touch on it. You talked about McGrath's chip ball when he wasn't under pressure. We need more, because it's one of those games, as we said, like a kind of chess game. We need more for the technical players to help break down defences. That's where the game's at. I
think from both sides as well. It's not just Aberdeen. I think it's both sides.
Rubezic playing it forward for Duke. Duke gets onto the ball ahead of Ferry, right hand side of the United box, level the penalty spot now. Duke Runs into trouble though, he gives it away oh so easily there, and Trapanovski's away from Palaversa, rolling it forward to Dalby. Malloy gets there first and turns it back to his goalkeeper. Certainly the quality at times from Keskinen and Duke, who are two players Aberdeen are going to look to potentially win this game tonight, needs to be better. He's on it now, Duke. Right hand side of the United box again, two around him, they're swarming all over him. Jim Goodwin, of course, was Aberdeen manager when he arrived at the club, knows how to deal with him, or you would think so. He's freed himself of the two. Cross is poor, away by Holt. It stays Aberdeen 0, Dundee United 0.
It's brilliant. You know, eventually it looks as though he's going to lose the ball. United get organised, they get 2v1 against Duke, but he manages to manoeuvre himself and get free, totally free, in behind, down the byline.
Here's Devlin, right hand side of the box, low ball in, is cut out by Holt, and again the quality just isn't there in the attacking third for either side really right now. I mean, Walton and Mitov have been virtual spectators in the game.
So you can't say they're not getting into positions or situations, because Duke there, and then Devlin, and Middleton has a good situation when they hit the goalkeeper. Trapanovski on one side where they blast it across, but Aberdeen cut out. They have got areas, they've worked areas, but the final ball's been terrible so far from both teams.
Malloy for Aberdeen striding forward, looking for Keskinen, left hand side of the box, sliding in with Stevenson to put it out for an Aberdeen throw-in level with the edge of the D of the United box. Boldenfield to McGrath, not a great touch, allows Sevels to win it back, and Stephen McLean's whistle will frustrate the Aberdeen fans again as Babunski takes a tumble and wins the free kick for United midway inside their own box, and that just takes the pressure right off the visitors.
Well, it does, but it's Jamie McGrath, isn't it? I mean, it's thrown to him, it's on his left foot, and he just can't control it. You know, it's unusual, and that's been, you know, that's been the issues I think in this game. It's not that the intent isn't there from both sides to get forward. It certainly is. They have got forward, they have got into good areas, you know, but the simple things they just haven't done well enough. And then when you're looking for real quality, maybe to put in that telling cross or telling pass, it just hasn't been there.
Well, the game got the big build-up, of course. There've only been 2 goalless draws between these two since April 1998. They both came back-to-back behind closed doors in 2020-21. So normally good for at least 1 goal, this fixture. McGrath, that's a dangerous ball by McGrath. He's given it straight to Dalby. Now it's Sevels rolling it to the left for Middleton. Middleton up against McGrath. He'll be looking to redeem himself. He does slightly by knocking it out for a throw-in. Again, a lot of misplaced passes, particularly from those in red tonight.
Yeah, McGrath on that occasion, and for as good as he was against Celtic last week, the best player on the pitch, he's been poor tonight.
Yeah, here's Vitsko Sevels looking to get away from Sockler. Square ball, the edge of the Aberdeen box. Stevenson to the right-hand side of it for Trapanovski. They've got 3 or 4 in the middle. He's gone himself as the North Macedonian. It's blocked. Breaks back to Adabaye. Gets a really good ball. The header from Dalby's wide. In fact, it's Stevenson who got his head onto it, just to the right of the penalty spot, and he flashes it past the left-hand side of the goal frame, and it stays Aberdeen 0, United 0. United finishing the first half strongly here. We're into the 45th minute.
Yeah, he is under pressure. There's an Aberdeen jersey close to him, but Stevenson, if he gets a good, powerful header in that, it's a chance, isn't it? It's a decent cross into the box, you know.
Looks if he heads on his shoulder.
Yeah, he just doesn't, you know, make good contact with it.
Nicky Devlin for Aberdeen on the near side, infield to McGrath, midway inside the United half for Palaversa, bends the ball in, looking for Sockler, but it comes all the way through to Jack Walton. It's looking like a goalless first half here. I can't imagine there will be much in the way of stoppage time at the end of this first half. There is going to be at least 1 minute. So the fourth official has the board in his hands, so there will be something added on. I think it is just the one, as Walton launches a really long ball forward, which is being chased by Dalby. It's won in the air by Rubidzic. His header's going to put it out, I think, for a United throw-in on the far side. So they're going to get another long throw opportunity in first half stoppage time here, are Dundee United.
Yeah, they've had a few, as you've said, but for me, and it's a great throw Will Ferry has, but for me they should load up that front area with more taller players. They only put Dalby in there the last time. I see, is it Holt going in there this time, or Declan Gallagher?
Yeah, they're both there.
I'd be loading it with a few more. I'd be putting 2 and 3 bodies in that front post, but just one, as you see.
The last chance, a game with hardly any chances, may come here for Dundee United in this first half. In comes Ferry's throw-in. It's allowed to bounce. McGrath's there. The shout of handball from the United fans comes back into the Aberdeen box and right through to Mitov. I think the claim was against Jamie McGrath there, but there's no VAR check going on for that. That's a poor touch by Babunski on this near side. It was out for a throw, and I make that time up as far as the first half is concerned. And Stephen McLean blows the half-time whistle. And it's all been a little bit anticlimactic so far. Aberdeen and Dundee United in terrific form. United looking to go third this evening. Aberdeen looking to go top. A draw would be enough to do that this evening. But really just that effort from Palaversa, which flashed by the right-hand post, is about it when it comes to attempts on goal. Nothing on target, nothing really for either keeper to do. Unforced errors all over the place, and both sides really struggling to use any kind of guile in the attacking third, which means in this game that was given the big build-up, the one under the lights at Pittodrie, the two teams flying high, and half-time is Aberdeen 0, Dundee United 0.
The Scottish Premiership.
From BBC Radio Scotland.
You're listening to Sportsnet on BBC Radio Scotland. A busy old day. We kicked off with our first commentary. That came from Dens Park. Late drama there. St Johnstone with the winner in the 90th minute after a long VAR check, beating Dundee by 2-1. Ross County 2, Kilmarnock 1. Again, coming from behind there, Kelly ahead through Corey and Dabbit on 39 minutes. Liam Donnelly sent off in 60. A minute later, County were level through Jordan White. Joe Wright with an own goal on 82 minutes handed Ross County the points. Goalless at half-time in the game. Our second commentary match coming from Pittodrie. We'll hear from some managers a little later. We'll hear from Tony Docherty and Simo Valakari before we go back to Pittodrie for second half commentary, and Don Cowie and Derek McInnes will play them out after this game is done. Tom English is alongside me in the studio. What have you made of it, Tom?
I agree with the lads to a point. There's no shots on target, no saves, but I still think it's an interesting game. I think they're teasing each other out. I think there's been good stuff in the game, but it hasn't caught fire yet. But I feel as if it's going to catch fire. You know, I think it just needs one goal, and I think all hell could break loose here. So I'm still with this game. I'm still intrigued by it. I think there's some good players on show here.
Yeah, two good teams.
And two good teams. Dundee United defending particularly well, I think. So, no, I'm hopeful. I'm still hopeful.
Right, OK, we shall see if that comes to pass. We'll give the guys at Pittodrie a chance of a wee break there. They got a cup of tea. Meanwhile, we will play out the managers from the 3 o'clock games. Let's start with that match at Dens Park. Simo Valakari in the dugout for the first time today as St Johnstone manager, and he will be absolutely delighted. His side coming from behind to secure a 2-1 victory. After the game, he spoke with our reporter, Brian McLaughlin.
Simo, many congratulations. What a dramatic ending to your first game in charge. What was your take on the 90-odd minutes overall?
Yeah, thank you. First of all, I have to say, this is Scottish football, and I have to say it was a local derby. How much the game meant for both fans, and I have to say our players, they were fantastic today, but our fans, they were unbelievable. And going down 1-0 first half, we didn't freeze. We just kept going our own things. Our fans were backing us, and then I was very pleased to hear the things what our players were talking halftime. They were talking all the right things, what we need to do, how we're going to do it, what we're going to do it. And then it was just, you know, the matter of go and do it. And very, very pleased for everyone. Yeah,
the first half, you know, they weren't as dynamic as they were in the second period. So what was your message to them at half-time?
Not really, but of course you need dynamic of football. Derby K, it was not open as you said it, you know, the first half. Then Dundee scored this little bit, you know, for our point of view, not very well defended goal, but those things happening. And then it was came little moment for us that we didn't know quite, how to get there. But then when the game went on in the first half, we gained more control. We had the chances to take them. And then second half, of course, always the game will open a little bit and it suits us, our players a little bit more room and how tactically they executed the plan. They were right positions, and then we know we have good players, to finish the game off scoring goals. But at the same time, again, have to say how we defended well, whole team, starting from our strikers, midfielders, backline to our goalkeeper. So very pleased with that.
You scored a magnificent equaliser from Graham Carey, but the drama was all in the last minute. Did you think the goal was going to be given? And what was the message from Kevin Clancy, the referee? Because it's very unusual to call two managers together like that.
But I think, how a referee, how he handled this situation, I think it was a good way to explain it, why it took so long. And I think both managers understood it, why it took so long. There was many accidents he needed to look, through, but the first message was it would have been penalty for us, handball by the defender, but then he needed to check, some other things, and that's why it took so long. But I think it was very good, this openness from the referee to explain it, and yeah, we were happy to win.
But apparently they couldn't draw the lines for the offside, is that correct?
I don't know about that.
But you're happy anyway.
Oh, of course, I'm happy for our fans, I'm happy for our players, but nothing has changed. We get these 3 points, and now tomorrow, Monday, we are back to work, and we still we have a lot of things to improve. We will improve, but it was nice to come here and to win.
So 1 game, 1 victory. Second game, St Mirren, I think it is in midweek, isn't it?
It's a midweek. It comes quickly, and that's a kind of one of our targets inside the club, inside our team, that we will be the team that we are not playing this one fantastic game and the next game we drop our level, so we try to working for our basic level, that we can keep our basic level game by game, because then when we can keep our basic level, we have a good players, they will play good games, but long season, it's not always possible to play these top games. So we need to get something out of these matches when maybe we are not on our best.
I appreciate your time, Simo. Well done again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, well done to Simo Valakari. He speaks very well. We had a long interview with him pre-match, and he is off to an absolute flyer as St Johnstone manager. Now, this should be interesting. Let's now hear from the Dundee manager, Tony Docker. He was also chatting with Brian.
Tony, a 2-1 defeat. I think we need to start with what happened in the 90th minute, though. What was your take on it? And the pair of you, both yourself and Simo, were brought together by referee Kevin Clancy. What did he say to you?
Yeah, he explained to us, tried to justify the length of time that it took to make that decision. That there was a handball involved in the build-up, I think, to it, but they couldn't, with the VAR and the angles, they couldn't make a decision whether it was offside or not. We're drawing the lines, so that's what took them so long. They couldn't. I think my explanation was because there was so many bodies in there. They couldn't determine whether or not Nicky Clark, I think it was the goal scorer, was offside. So that's why it took so long, and I don't understand that. I also don't understand why that amount of time wasn't added on at the end of the game. So a bit confused.
We'll come to the time in a minute, but the lines not being able to be drawn, does that mean that they just went with the decision from the referee and the linesman?
They went with the on-field decision that Kevin made because they couldn't determine whether it was offside or not using the technology that we've got, using the lines that they draw. They couldn't decide whether or not that was offside.
And in terms of the time, I think it was 11 minutes added on.
Was that what they added on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that. I thought they didn't add on the allotted time that they took to make that decision. But just really confusing, a really confusing way to end a game. Again, I don't see anything getting better.
Your team in the first half, you went a goal up. Obviously, Simon Murray with the goal. Mm-hmm. Do you feel that after that you didn't really capitalise on it? Because in terms of possession, St Johnstone had a lot more possession, certainly in the first half as well.
Yeah, but our game plan, we were really comfortable to allow the centre halves of St Johnstone to have the ball. And they weren't threatening us, they weren't hurting us at all. And the kind of risk and reward part of that is going with 2 up against them. We got the goal, we went 1 ahead. I'd have liked us to control the game a little bit better. I'd have liked our possession to be a little bit better. But however, I never thought St Johnstone posed as any kind of threat. So we changed things a little bit in the second half just to try and get a wee bit more of a foothold in the game in terms of us being in possession and controlling the game a little bit more. But listen, it comes down to the 89th minute, not defending a corner properly. So that's something that, again, we've let ourselves down there. We need to really address that and make sure that, you know, these times are vital in games. You know, you need somebody to take the responsibility for that, and we didn't do that. And you know, you can talk about the VAR decisions, but we should have made first contact inside the box and not conceded that goal.
Yeah, that's a learning process for the players, is it not?
Absolutely, yeah, I think it is, and it's something that's why I'm so long coming out. It's something we've identified, because now you can look back at it, and it's something that we'll need to deal with in-house.
I know you may be angry at decisions on the pitch by officials, but in terms of the team, by working with the team, is that something that obviously that you're hoping to try and develop and make sure that it doesn't happen?
Well, this is it. You know, we entered a game today on the back of last week doing everything like that absolutely right, because we worked really hard on it, and then it's happened again. You know, so it's something. Listen, it's a young group, it's a new group, so it's important that, you know, in-house we're honest about it. We identify what the area of responsibility was and who should have taken responsibility, but we'll sort that out and make sure we're right getting into the next game.
And the next game is against Celtic. You're going to have it right then.
Of course we do. Of course we do. I mean, if that's getting punished, you know, in the 89th minute at home, then that's something that we need to take on board. We need to take ownership of and make sure that we do better next time.
Thanks, Tony.
The thoughts there of Tony Docherty. St Johnstone up to 6th in the table, 10 points from 10 games. Dundee 8th, 9 points from 9 games. Very interesting that one, Tom. We'll get back to Pittodrie just shortly, but we got an explanation through from the SFA. Valakari obviously delighted. Tony Dock very, very frustrated.
Yeah, and that VAR check took 6 minutes and 32 seconds. It was a bit of an epic. So it was complex, so they needed to work through it. Obviously the Lions didn't show up because there's players in the way. It would have been a penalty anyway if it was offside, but it wasn't offside. So it was a goal. Terrible way for Dundee to lose the game. Brilliant way for St Johnstone to win the game. 2 wins in a row and momentum for them.
Absolutely. We'll hear from Derek McInnes and from Don Cowie after the game has finished at Pittodrie. We're crying out for a goal. Willie Miller, what will Jimmy Tilleen be saying to his players at half-time?
Well, he'll be scratching his head probably, you know, watching his forward players in particular. You know, Jamie McGrath not being able to control the ball. What's that all about? You know, Duke not being able to find any room. You know, Keskinen not getting his head up when he's got an opportunity to put Sockler in. So I think that the forward players will take the rap of it, and I wouldn't be surprised if he did make changes in these areas, because it hasn't been good. You know, I'm glad that Tom agrees with us up to a point about the game, I must admit. But it hasn't been a good game of football. I admire your optimism, Tom. I admire your optimism, Tom.
I'm being too positive. Everyone says I'm too negative. And now
I was going to ask you that. When did you turn so optimistic? I don't know when that happened.
We've been chatting, Billy. We're both changing.
Yeah.
Damned if you do, damned if you do. I'm going to go back to being negative. It's far safer territory for me.
We all jinxed it, but I kind of, to be fair to you, Thomas and Kenny, I kind of understand where you're coming from, because we're all waiting for something. And I include the Dundee United forwards as well. They've been. You can see that this is two teams who the other team, the opposition, know that they've got good technical players and they're wary. So the defences are like spot on, concentrating all the time. They're finding it hard. But your technical players have to find a way. They have to, especially when you say there's been areas worked, because you've looked at Nicky Devlin getting in behind, you've looked at Middleton getting in behind, you've looked at Keskinen getting in behind and Duke, but the final ball has been terrible. That is a problem. So the technical players, it is on them. Willie's right, they'll take the hit for it. But there's two teams still capable, once our managers give them a little dig, that they are capable of still creating, and that's where the game stands at just now. He'll be wanting a lot more from his forward players. Yeah, there's a lot of effort and endeavour going into it, but we need something special. It looks as if one special moment in the game could win this.
That's it. I think something is going to happen. I think there's too many good players out there. I think something. I'd be surprised, really disappointed if this just meandered to a 0-0.
If it doesn't, Willie and I are coming for you.
Well, if it does meander to a 0-0, then I will revert to my own negative Norman. But right now, I'm positive Tom. So leave me alone, will you? I'm trying to change here.
We don't like that, Tom. Well, what can either manager do then to affect changes? Is there something tactically they'll be looking at right now?
I don't think Jim Goodwin will be looking at it and thinking anything other than his team have done well. They've really restricted Aberdeen and Aberdeen's quality players in the forward area. They haven't looked as though they're going to get exposed. When maybe there has been a bit of room, then the quality hasn't been there. As far as Jimmy Talleen is concerned, yeah, he'll be disappointed, be hugely disappointed. The players that I mentioned a little bit earlier, that they haven't shown their quality and their class. He's got plenty of options in the bench, Talleen, that's for sure. Morris is there. Clarkson could come on as well. Jim McGrath's not done particularly well, and I'm sorry, I'm getting the point from Liam here. But I can't see. Maybe Liam could come in.
You just mentioned Shaden Morris. He's coming on at the start of the second.
There we go.
So he's got these choices to make, and it looks as though he's going for at half time. He's not been happy with the quality going forward, so not too sure. Is it Keskinen that's coming off? Yeah, I think, well, I would say that would be the right one, wouldn't it? I think Keskinen has played with his head down for most of the game and not up.
He has a good track record in making half-time substitutions, will he?
Yes, he certainly has. So I think the Aberdeen fans, Tom, will be hoping that this change will spark something. And Morris has got pace, but the problem is you need a bit of space to use that pace. It's the same with Duke. He needs a bit of space, and he hasn't had that space because United have defended really well.
Yeah, well, let's hope we get goals in the second half. Let's get back to Willie Miller, Billy Dodds and Liam McLeod.
Yeah, just confirmation there that Topi Keskinen is being withdrawn at half-time. He stays in the dressing room and Shaden Morris replaces him. Joined in 2022 after 4 years at Fleetwood Town. Somebody who has only just in the last little while begun to show what he's capable of. He had a pretty poor start to his Aberdeen career, and he will come on for the second half. United unchanged, so it's Mitov in goal for Aberdeen. Devlin, Rubezic, Malloy, McKenzie, Palaversa, Nielsen, Morris, McGrath, Duke and Sockler. United, Walton in goal, Adebayega, Gallagher, Holt, Stevenson, Sevels, Babunski, Ferry, Middleton, Trapanovsky and Dalby. United will kick off the second half, shooting from left to right in the white shirts, tangerine shorts, white socks towards the red shed end. Aberdeen towards the Richard Donald stand, beach end, and it's game on again here at Pittodrie at 0-0. Chip ball forward down this near side, comes off Dalby's head, and Duke, who has survived that half-time cull, sees it go over the line and out for a throw-in on this near side. Duke then moving back to the left, having probably played half of the first half on the right-hand side. Morris very right-sided. He goes out onto that flank. So, well, just a little roll of the dice from Jimmy Talleen in the hope that he can shake some life into his attacking players.
Yeah, I think so. He'd have been disappointed, I feel, with just about all of his attacking players because they haven't been at the standard he would have expected. So, if you're a manager and you're setting high standards and it's not been reached, then absolutely go to the bench and make that change. And he's been proven right in the past. And as I said, the Aberdeen fans will be hoping that he's proven right tonight.
Yeah, first touch of the ball for Morris down the right-hand side. He goes up against Ferry, checks his run, level with the penalty spot, drops the shoulder to the byline, fires it across, an almost immediate impact. Walton might well have got a touch on that. Duke trying to keep it alive on the near side. He has done. Down the left. Good challenge by Stevenson, though. And then United get it away. Almost instant impact there from Morris.
Walton's certainly got a touch, and it probably took it away from any on-rushing Aberdeen players, but Morris shown right away. Jimmy Talleen's obviously asked him, go and create, go and do something. Gets in that area, and it's a really good cross because he flashes it right in there with pace. Walton's got to deal with it.
No, what would be disappointing though, when you send a sub on like that and he lights the place up, the strikers are all, they're not expecting it. They're not expecting him to hit the byline and put the cross in. They're all flat-footed. You're looking at Sockler. Where is Sockler? He's flat-footed. He's watching Morris. Morris goes to the byline. He should be on the move. He should be moving towards that near post. And Duke at the back post hasn't made much of an attempt to try to get in there either.
That's when Kevin Nisbet comes alive. Of course, he's unavailable for Aberdeen tonight. Tulane doesn't think it's going to be a lengthy absence, but he misses tonight and has to be a doubt for that Rangers game here on Wednesday as well. Now, you would have thought. Mitov, short ball to Palaversa. United with 3 players pressing. It's with McKenzie. Good little touch, good spin as well against Stevenson. He pops it through towards Nielsen, who didn't run because I think he was expecting the referee's whistle to go, which eventually it does. And Aberdeen have a free kick down on this near side inside their own half.
It's good refereeing from Stephen McLean. He tried to give McKenzie the advantage, and he strode forward, but the little pull in his jersey made him play a bad pass, and he brings it back. So really good refereeing.
McGrath for Aberdeen, rolling it out to Morris on the right hand side. Different proposition here for Ferry, driving up Ferry into the area. He goes down to the byline, tries to pull it back. There is a claim for handball against the defender. I think it was Kevin Holt who slid in, but United are able to get it clear. Palaversa onto it and knocks it back to Malloy, midway inside his own half. 0-0, early exchanges of the second half here under the lights at Pittodrie in the 5:30 kickoff. And it's Palaversa to Nielsen, side football out to the right hand side for Devlin. He's got Morris out there, and Nielsen rolls it into the more right central area for Nielsen, forward to Sockler, can't make it stick. United have it with Holt. Just remember Kevin Holt is a full-back, Queen of the South, Dundee. He's been deployed in midfield and one of the centre backs now, and that United back three is McGrath's chopped to the ground right in front of the referee by Sev Elge. He's not getting carded for it.
Surprise.
Yeah, the Aberdeen fans are too. It's McKenzie out to Duke on this near side, looking to shuffle himself away from Stevenson down at the corner flag. Left hand side, looking to at least win a corner if possible, but he's managed to squeeze it through to McKenzie. Now it's Palaversa, square ball to Nielsen at the edge of the box, little spin from McGrath, shoots at goal and it's blocked. Breaks out to Duke. There's more about Aberdeen at the start of this second half. Duke has it, low ball, left hand side of the penalty area for McGrath to Palaversa at the edge of the box, misses it though. Kept alive well by Devlin, fires it back on the slide to the edge of the centre circle for Rubičić. He finds Malloy to McGrath, back to his countryman, and now with Palaversa, rolls it to the left for Malloy. McKenzie wants it and he's onto it now. Jack McKenzie down the left hand side. He's the break of the ball in the box, still he's going, turns it back towards McGrath. Oh, it's gone wide. Walton didn't know much about it. He went down, crouched down just about, and did enough just to put it by the post for a corner. It stays 0-0.
Liam, you're exactly right. Walton knew nothing about that. It's come through a ruck of players. He's went down, it's come off his palm. It's just... It's so unlucky for McGrath that he's driven it right at the goalkeeper. Lucky for Walton as well.
Yeah, corner came in, it's poor, it's half away. McKenzie has it, gets it back out to Palaversa on this near side, level with the penalty spot. Palaversa jinks onto the right foot, chips the ball in, headed away by Holt. Out for an Aberdeen throw-in. It's been a whole lot better from Aberdeen since the break, and we're only 5 minutes into the second half. Throw-in taken short and quick there by McKenzie to Nielsen. Back to McKenzie, back to Nielsen. Infield to Palaversa. Rolls it left-hand side of the box. McKenzie, early ball in's cleared. Morris can't get onto it. Breaks to McGrath at the edge of the box. He volleys for goal. It's an ambitious one. And it goes wide of the right-hand post. And it stays Aberdeen 0, Dundee United 0. But I think Jim Goodwin's already going to react to this really quick start to the second half by the hosts. Change coming for United by the looks of things.
Yeah, and I mean, Aberdeen have started well. It's a whole different speed, intensity to the second half, and it's just McKenzie. It was like Pinball City in there, wasn't it? Because he just drives against two players, hits off him, breaks for him, cuts it back to McGrath. As Willie said, he struck it well. Might have taken a little deflection as well, you know, and Walton knew not much about it, but got it around the post, and that's the most important thing.
The challenge as United come forward really for the first time since the interval. Trapanovsky tackled well by McKenzie, and it goes out for a United throw-in. Again, it's level with the Aberdeen 18-yard line. Again, Will Ferry is jinking over here. I think there were some Aberdeen complaints that there was only 1 minute of stoppages added on at the end of the first half because of the length of time that Will Ferry was taking over these long throws. And he's been told to come back, I think, a few yards here, and he's making out as though he's not hearing the referee. The Aberdeen supporters are not slow to have a pop at him about that. And here he comes, Ferry. Level with the edge of the D of the Aberdeen box, pulls it into the area. Nielsen gets it away, and then Sockler's a head knock for Nielsen, though the game will have to stop here to allow attention to the Norwegian, perhaps. He's getting himself back to his feet quite quickly, but he clearly took a blow, I think, to the nose there. And it stays Aberdeen 0, Dundee United 0 on 52.
It's accidental, but I mean, as he said, it's probably the 7th long throw. Well, I'd definitely be loading that front area more if I was United. Just 2 or 3 to flick on and get a couple of runners, and they're only put one in there. They've not won a header or a flick on yet, and Aberdeen have dealt with it well.
Miller Thompson's going to replace Strapanovsky. Sorry, Willie. That's
okay, Liam. Yeah, you think get your smaller players round the back, you know, overload the front post. They're difficult throw-ins to defend against if there's numbers there and height there, but they aren't doing that. They're keeping some of their big players towards the back. I would overload the back with the smaller players in the front with the taller players.
On comes young Miller Thompson. He scored against Dundee on the opening day of the league season in the derby. There's Duke getting the touch, comes back off Thompson and out for an Aberdeen throw-in on this near side. That's United's first real attack of the second half. Comes to nothing. Goalless at Pittodrie, it remains. Nielsen for Aberdeen in the midfield, left of the centre circle. It's still goalless in the game in Annan. Athletic taking on Queen of the South, local rivals, as Devlin goes down the right looking for a way to get a clear of Middleton. Morris keeps it in play, rolls it back the way to Palaversa, who finds Nielsen, then Palaversa again, right of the centre circle. Out onto the touchline it goes for Nicky Devlin in his Scotland debut in that recent Nations League game against the Portuguese at Hampden. And it's Nielsen on the ball for Aberdeen again. Right foot ball forward is poor really from Sivert Nielsen. He's given it straight to Ferry, whose attempted clearance is charged down by Devlin. Morris knocking it in field. Duke gets a break in the ball. Now it's with Sockler. Rolls it back to Duke. Chance right hand side of the box. Saved by Walton and behind for the corner.
That's a good save as well. There's a narrow angle right enough for Duke. Good play from Sockler, putting Duke in at the angle down the right hand side. Tight angle though, he's driven it. I think he's done is probably as good as he could have. You know, there's a defender in there as well, but I think it is Walton that gets the eventual block on it. But yeah, I mean, it's been a good opening for Aberdeen, hasn't it? They've created opportunities in behind United, which they didn't do in the first half.
In comes the corner from Palaversa. Again it's poor, and again it's away from the first man, and both teams have been guilty of that tonight. Morris on the far side. There's a flag gone up on the touchline on this near side. And it's going to be, in the end, I think, just a little bit confusion down there. Stephen McLean's looking for a new ball, I think. There is one on the pitch. The left of the box, going to be an Aberdeen ball for the offside, just inside their own half. Rubezic is in possession. Stephen McLean's not happy about where the free kick's being taken. And eventually they've sorted it out, and it's rolled out to Palaversa and then back to Rubezic. The quality from Palaversa needs to be a whole lot better, Willie. I mean, we're talking about a guy who went for £7 million not so long ago.
Yeah, he's taken every corner, every set piece, hasn't he? And they haven't been particularly good. I mean, Jamie McGrath can deliver. You'd have thought that maybe mix it up a little bit. He seems to be the dominant force there, always wanting to take the set pieces, but I think been disappointed with the majority of them.
That was pinpoint last week.
Duke's done well, he's found McGrath, now back to Duke, he's inside the box, he's on the right hand side looking for space to shoot, turns it to Morris. Morris rolls it right hand side for Devlin, whose attempt across is cut out by Ferry and behind for the corner. It's been something about Aberdeen since the interval. It was the same in Glasgow last week. 56 on the clock, it stays 0-0. It just looked for all the money that Duke was going to shoot.
You know, he's trying to just manufacture a little space, isn't he, that he can see the goal, and he's obviously decided he can't as he puts it to Morris and then out to Devlin.
And comes the corner to the 6-yard area. It's flicked away, outside the box it comes. Sivert Nielsen's onto it now. Nielsen under pressure on this near side. Tries a little back heel for McKenzie, who's going to get onto it. Still McKenzie, Nielsen back out to McKenzie, and they were going to win a throw-in level with the United penalty spot on the main stand side.
Yeah, they've been more direct, more positive, haven't they? But I'll tell you what, you've got to credit United, because when Duke, I thought he was making a yard, they got bodies round him.
Devlin forward to Sockler, kind of bounces off him back to Morris, now with Rubezic right at the centre circle. And he's got Malloy to his left and elects to play it forward to Palaversa, now back to Rubezic. 3 minutes shy of the hour mark, 0-0. Morris forward, now Sockler took a deflection on its way through. McGrath can't control, and United clear. United sitting back a little bit here. It's been Aberdeen's, by far, best period of pressure in the game. Nielsen has it, dead centre of the pitch, midway inside the United half to Palaversa. Flicks it out there to the right for Morris. Morris taking his man on, going to the byline again, goes down, that's right in the line of the box. The flag's gone up on the far side. Is it just a corner? Stephen McLean's made his way over there, and Glenn Middleton's protesting.
Looks like he's given the foul.
I think it's a free kick, yeah.
It's close.
It's not far from being a penalty, this. It's just outside. It's the correct decision, yeah.
He's been spot on so far in the match, Stephen McLean, to be fair to him. So much pace. He's causing some trouble down there.
Yeah, his body movements.
You know that first 5 yards, I mean, it's incredible how he's pacing. He just leaves Ferry, who's quick, for dead.
I would suggest, Dodgy, that he's going to try to get it in his right foot towards the byline, though, if you think about it defensively.
Look at this, so United have got everyone just about, apart from Thompson, in and around the 6-yard box. Aberdeen have 2 waiting at the edge of the area. This free kick is almost on the byline to the right of the United box, just about touching the line of the penalty area. Morris and Palaversa perhaps waiting for a cutback here. McGrath chips it into the 6-yard area, where it's headed away decisively by Lucas Stevenson. Header from McGrath, finds Morris, and now it's back with Malloy. Aberdeen will be hoping to keep this intensity up for a long period in the second half. Might be a patient game they'll have to play here. It's Duke down the left-hand side. He's inside the area. His cross is cut out. Another Aberdeen corner. And from Jimmy Tellin's point of view, he'll be hoping his team can score during this period of dominance.
Yeah. I mean, both white players are now beginning to find a little bit of space as well. I think it goes down to United not closing that space down, but I think a big part of it as well for Morris and Duke. They're looking really positive and want to take defenders on.
McGrath with the corner from right in front of the tunnel, and it comes towards the back post. Came up a United player. It's a bit last ditch, but it's really effective defending over there by Dundee United. They are looking to hit Aberdeen on the counter. It's a really long ball forward. Awkward bounce for Malloy to deal with. Dolby takes it down over on the far side. Gets it through the legs of Malloy, but gives it straight to Morris. Now it's with Palaversa. That's wonderful defending in the back post.
I think it was Glenn Middleton back there who got the boot on it to get it clear, but Dolby looks if he's going to win the header. I think Babinski should just keep running, and if he wins the header he knocks onto him and he's through, but he just stops. It's poor from Babinski.
Played an hour at Pittodrie. It remains 0-0 between these two, and Jim Goodwin's looking at his bench again, and he's going to bring on Richard O'Dada by the looks of things.
I think it was Ferry with the clearance when I see it on the telly.
Well, whoever it was, and you've had a chance to see a replay there, whoever it was, it's brilliant defending. There's Aberdeen had a man at the back looking to poke it home. Aberdeen unbeaten at Pittodrie since February, when St Johnstone beat them here. They've won 11 of their last 13 Premiership fixtures going back into last season, looking to record a 12th home win in a row in all competition. And an 8th league victory on the bounce. Their club record's 9. And obviously crisscrosses seasons. Here comes the change then for United, and Dada's going to come on for Adebayega. So Jim Goodwin, he's made a couple of quick fire changes there. And O'Dada's a midfield player, so I just wonder if there'll be a little change of shape here, because they are getting, even though they looked so well structured in the first half, they're being torn asunder, Willie, right and left right now since half time.
No, they have been. It goes down, I think, a little bit to them not being tight enough. That's Dundee United I'm talking about, and not restricting the space for Aberdeen, and also the fact that Duke and Morris, have found their mojo, really, haven't they? They've got the head down. They've seen a bit of space in behind. They've taken defenders on. They've hit the byline. They've put decent crosses, at least dangerous crosses, into the box as well.
And you've got a free kick opportunity, United, just a few yards from the far side, south stand side touchline, beyond the midway point of the Aberdeen half. And a big line of players from both teams along the 18. We're going to get in the end of this, those in white and tangerine. Left-footed free kick in, looking for O'Dada. That's Holt's header, which goes well wide of the left-hand post. And to the United fans over in the south stand, that would have looked a lot closer than it was.
It's brilliant. I don't think it would have stood anyway. I think VAR would have got that, but I watched Declan Gallagher go back in and he just took Devlin out, which freed up Holt with the block. He couldn't hit the target anyway, but I think it would have been pulled back by VAR, that one.
Duke for Aberdeen. Looking for the big switch to Shaden Morris. First time looking for Devlin. He's given it straight to Middleton, though. Middleton goes back to his keeper. The first time clearance to the left boot of Walton up towards the halfway line. Rubedzic is underneath it. Nods it onto the chest of Morris. Morris then battling with Babunski. Morris goes down. Aberdeen free kick, level with the edge of the centre circle, over on that right-hand touchline for the home team.
There's no doubt. I think Kerridine would be having to ask what they said at half-time, because he's definitely been a flea in the ear of the wide players. I mean,
yeah,
they're so different now, they're so positive. When they get it, he's told them, I don't care if you lose it, get at them.
There's McKenzie. They were a bit tentative in that first half. I see Graham Shinney's coming on shortly, the skipper. Here's McKenzie, flashes it across, but it's too close to Walton, who holds on, flops down onto it. And it's another dangerous ball in from the left-hand side, and Aberdeen finding themselves in really good positions in the wide areas.
Yeah. Would the chat not go like this? Keskin and you're come off, and Duke, if you don't buck up, you're coming off next.
Probably, but he'll probably play it down when the question's asked. You know,
I'm sure he will.
Yeah.
I'm sure he will.
It'll depend on the result as well. It remains 0-0. United not really threatening in an attacking sense at the moment. There's plenty time for that. Duke loses out to Stevenson, who's driving down the right-hand side for United. He's trying to take on McKenzie. Great play by Stevenson. Brilliant challenge by McKenzie. And he's earned the luck of a goal kick there. Fabulous defending.
No, without doubt. You know, I thought that Stevenson was going to get the better of him, to be perfectly honest, because he showed him down the line. Stevenson looked as though he had a yard on him, but McKenzie makes that yard up with good turn of pace and good sliding tackle.
Palaversa is coming off to be replaced by the skipper. Graham Shinney makes his way onto the pitch. I'm sure he will get the armband back off Nicky Devlin at the next suitable moment. The play is underway again. 0-0 here on Sportsound, BBC Radio Scotland. And just a reminder for listeners who'll be looking forward to Take the Floor. That's coming up after the news at 7 o'clock on FM. We'll get to that when that moment arrives in the next 5 minutes or so. But we will continue with the football on digital and the BBC Radio Scotland Extra, obviously online as well. So if you want uninterrupted coverage of this game, it's Extra and 810 medium wave, and digital you want to be tuned into. FM will be going to Take the Floor after 7. Devlin gives it away, and it's a poor ball from Nicky Devlin. He's claiming he was fouled. There didn't seem any chance of a free kick coming there as it's rolled back down the line for United on the far side and played infield to Holt. He and Gallagher as a central defensive two now. Adebuyega going off,
definitely
Billy.
Back forward, yeah. Lucas Stevenson going to right back.
There's Thompson's a lovely touch. He's away from McKenzie, right-hand side of the box. Dalby waiting in the middle. It's prevented from getting to him by Rubedzic as the rain begins to tumble down here now all of a sudden. McGrath goes down, no free kick. Morris gives it straight to Stevenson. It's been a better last few minutes for United. Will Ferry down the left-hand side it goes. The ref's going to stop play. Not sure what went on there. It looked as though he was happy enough with play to continue. Anyway, it's going to be an Aberdeen ball.
I think it's Seville's. He's a brilliant boy, and he likes the physical side. I've watched him a couple of times when people have released the pass, and he just barges you. Not nice to play against that.
He played really well as a fullback against Dundee on the opening weekend of the season. He's playing central midfield as Rubedzic takes it up towards halfway. Long ball for him. McGrath gets onto it ahead of Stevenson and nods it back to McKenzie. Rolls it square infield to the feet of McGrath, then out to McKenzie on this near side chip ball forward. McGrath giving chase. O'Dada slides in. McGrath goes down. O'Dada's kept it in play. No free kick despite the protests from the home sections. Long ball forward. Dalby can't control. It was over the head of Malloy, but Rubedzic is there to mop up. And he goes back to his keeper. Mitov then to Malloy. We're approaching the final quarter of the game. It's still Aberdeen 0, United 0. At Pittodrie. 1-0 Annan, incidentally. Aidan Smith with the goal for the side rooted at the bottom of League One. That game in BBC Alapa this evening. As Jack McKenzie picks up and knocks it infield to McGrath. Back to McKenzie, left-hand side of the United box. His ball across is cut out by Gallagher, the former Don, and behind for Aberdeen's latest second-half corner.
Yeah, it's a good combination, isn't it, with McGrath and McKenzie down that left-hand side. He's been really positive, McKenzie, in the second half, driving forward, but also, you know, not leaving his defensive duties, because defensively he's been sound as well.
In comes the corner. It's headed away again. It's well defended. There's Dolby this time. Aberdeen recycle it. It's out wide left with McGrath again. Level with the penalty spot. Whips the ball in, and it comes off Nielsen's head and was well wide of the right-hand post and stays 0-0 at Pittodrie.
A better ball in, but you know, Willie's looking at the offensive side of things, and quite rightly so. We both are. We've said that they've been having a word with the wide players, Jimmy Tulleen. But I'll tell you what, you've got to credit Dundee United for the way they have stood up in defence. Even that one that Nielsen got the head on, he's so tightly marked, they can't get any purchase on it. They're really stuck to their task. And even the corner that come in, Dalby gets the head on it to get it cleared as well. So top-notch defending, you have to say.
And difficult to do that for 90 minutes. And Aberdeen are still trying to press the game. It's McGrath in the midfield, shifts it to Nielsen. Poor ball again by Nielsen. A couple of slack ones. Shinnie trying to win it back, but he's given away the free kick. Graham Shinnie. It's going to be a free kick to United, right-hand side of the centre circle.
I mean, he's having a laugh, Seville, isn't he? I mean, he's battered just about every Aberdeen player that's came close to him, and then Shinnie goes into a little challenge with him, and he goes down as though he's been poleaxed. And it's just a little, you know, a little elbow, a little. I think it was kind of an arm, as if a little coming together. Anyway, there's nothing wrong with him. He's back up. He's okay.
Conditions very much deteriorating here for the final 20-odd minutes. Remains 0-0. It's Declan Gallagher's long ball forward. Malloy's header's not great. Dolby tries to make it work, slides in, but he can only force it through to Dimitar Mitov, who hasn't been tested as yet.
Save to me. I was just thinking that. Don't think so.
Yeah, Walton's made a couple in the second half, but Mitov has been pretty much untested. Although I think Jim Goodwin, if he gets a point tonight, given the way Aberdeen are going right now, given they're on this winning run, particularly in Pittodrie, of course, the winning sequence ended at Celtic Park last week, but at home. And Shinnie is brought down by Babunski. Will go into the book for that free kick. Aberdeen are irate because play stopped and they felt they had an advantage going forward there.
It's been brilliant all night, Steve McLean, but that's poor, because you could have booked him later on, brought it back, but leave the attack on, because Nicky Devlin was certainly
that's a poor decision. Aberdeen have it. Nielsen midway inside the United half, rolls it out to Morris on that flank. Against Middleton he goes, driving at the byline again. Morris with the cross, Sockler's header, saved, brilliantly saved by Walton. And the Aberdeen supporters all rose to acclaim a Sockler goal there, but Walton with another terrific bit of goalkeeping, and it stays Aberdeen 0, Dundee United 0. Will I have to say, that looked a goal all night long.
From where we were sitting, you're just waiting for it to nestle into the back of the net, and it didn't happen. But again, Morris, you know, so positive, quick, taking on Middleton. Middleton doesn't have an answer, you know, for his pace, and the cross comes in. Sockler gets up, header, maybe just didn't get enough power on it, but it looked goal bound until you know, Walton managed to just throw out that right hand and get a touch.
What on loan Luton Town goalkeeper Jack Walton is keeping Dundee United in this. Another marvellous save, this time the head.
I'm thinking if he heads that pure, I don't think the goalkeeper's got a chance.
He kind of just glanced the header towards the far corner.
I don't know if he spun it off his shoulder. I don't know. It just took an eternity to go goalwards.
McKenzie down to the corner flag, goes down. No free kick. Goal kick United it is. Well, Stephen McLean's not a big favourite round these parts. He allowed a very late Motherwell goal against Aberdeen that sealed second place for the Steelmen on the last day of the season. You're going back a while now. Back to season 13-14, I remember
You've
one
got
of
a
them.
long memory though, Liam.
Yes. But I remember Jamie Langfield was wiped out. There was a free kick pumped in the box. Langfield was wiped out. Looked a foul all day long. Craig Reid scored the goal for Motherwell. Yeah. They finished second. Aberdeen finished third. It was a second place shootout.
I did that game.
Did you? So did Stephen McLean, and I think the Aberdeen supporters are remembering that here. They don't have much time for him, but there you go. It's going to be there's been some contentious decisions out there, but as Billy said, he's by and large kept this game ticking over and made the correct calls. Leighton Clarkson will be on shortly for the home team as Devlin collects over on the far side and turns it in field for Shinnie, who rolls it back to Rubitic. Now to Shinnie. Switches it to Malloy. Mackenzie down the left-hand side. My goodness, where's this weather come from? It was a lovely day up until about 10 minutes ago, and it is chucking it down. Shinnie with the ball down the left-hand side of the box for Jack Mackenzie. Takes a touch, moves in field. Breaks the Duke at the edge of the box. Shoots low. Easy save for Walton. Stays. Aberdeen 0, Dundee United 0. There's one team wants to win this game right now,
yep.
And it's the home one.
Yeah, and it does look as though, you know, Dundee United, you know, Jim Goodwin would be more than happy with a draw, you know, if it stays 0-0. But Duke in that occasion, you know, again, Mackenzie doing some really good work down the left-hand side. Duke not catching it properly. You know, you think you're coming in. It's on his right foot, right enough, you know, but you want to try to hit the far corner. He's kind of thrown the right foot at it. And it's been an easy one for Walton to take.
Change then for Aberdeen. Sockler off, Clarkson on. And that is Aberdeen's final change. Dolby's down, the moment for United.
Duke go to striker.
I think it would be Duke.
Yeah, it is. Do you know what? When you look at Duke's performance tonight, the first half was Duke of last season. The second half's been Duke of 2 seasons ago, Billy. Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't had a pre-season. He came in late. You know, I think he's still trying to catch up. But, you know, he's got that quality, he's got that pace. But it's been Morris that's lit the game up, isn't it, coming on at half-time, you know, down the right-hand side. But he's looked dangerous in the second half, but he'll go through the middle, and, you know, I think they'll be hoping that the 2 centre-backs will have their hands full trying to deal with Duke down the centre.
He relishes that role, that's for sure. He's played it before. United forced into a double change. Dalby's nights over. Van der Sande will replace him. Babunski also coming off, and there's a welcome return for Ryan Strain here, who arrived from St Mirren in the summer, was injured in the League Cup groups. This is only him coming back now in the mid to late autumn, so the Aussie comes on and he's gone straight to the right hand side. We'll free up Lucas Stevenson to move into a more central midfield position. Mackenzie with a throw-in for Aberdeen, infield to McGrath, back to Mackenzie. Approaching the final 15, in fact, we've just ticked into that now. Aberdeen 0, United 0. It's with Rubidic over there on the far side. Rolls it to Morris, low ball infield to Devlin, looking to get it back to Morris, but gives it away. And United have it back. It's still Annan 1, Queen of the South 0 in League One. The later kick-off there. Rubidic down the line for Morris. Going to get away from his man. He still has it, Shayden Morris. Early ball for Duke. Gallagher, well, he encouraged the goalkeeper to come and get it, then eventually decided to deal with it himself. Probably the right decision, as that's knocked out for an Aberdeen throw-in over on the far side.
Oh, it was. If he leaves it, I think Devlin gets a toe poke in that and probably puts it in the net. So Walton coming out, wasn't sure. Gallagher does well to deal with it.
Malloy in the centre circle, to the right of it for Nielsen in the United half, out to Shinnie on the far side, and now with Morris level with the penalty spot. It's the ball in, missed by the defender Holt, and he is so fortunate that Ryan Strain was the next player to touch the ball and knock it out for an Aberdeen throw-in. It stays 0-0. Jim Goodwin encouraging calm from his players.
Well, I mean, they've just defended the second half, and you know they've got no pace up top either. Bringing on Van der Sande is not going to make you know, the Aberdeen centre backs worry about the pace in behind, or at least it shouldn't. You know, but it's all been about Aberdeen.
Yeah, Shinnie's ball in, bounces towards goal and held on to by Walton. It ricocheted between 2 United players there. Surprised there wasn't a louder appeal for a handball as it dropped down onto the second one. Shinnie fired it towards the edge of the 6-yard area. Walton got his gloves onto it, and it stays nothing each. Walton will take this long ball into the Aberdeen half. Van der Sande with the header straight to Malloy, though. Now it's with Mackenzie. He's got support from Devlin behind him, or Malloy it was. First time ball forward, looking for Duke. One back by Strain on this near side. Delicate ball down the right hand side here for Miller Thompson, who's chasing down to the byline. He gets there, wins the corner as well. Good challenge again from Jack Mackenzie. But United up the pitch, and United have a corner, and this might be their best chance to go back down the road with all 3 points tonight.
Yeah, it was good play, just chipped down the right hand side. Miller Thompson showed good pace to go on it, was putting across, especially in this weather, as you've been talking about, just blast that across. But Mackenzie does well again to slide in, block it for the corner this time,
which will be taken by Will Ferry on the United right as they attack the goal to the right, looking for the goal that might take them above Rangers into third tonight. Ferry rolls it back to the edge of the box for Strain. Strain gets away from Duke, looks up, right foot bending ball to the left hand side of the box, headed half away, chance, Seville with the shot, blocked and cleared by McGrath. United get it back. Here is Holt, back into the centre circle for Stevenson, out wide right for Thompson, up against McGrath. Thompson gets away from him, fires it back into the area, controlled in the chest just to the left of the penalty spot by Ferry, and then he brings down Morris, and he'll be booked next, and Aberdeen will have a free kick. That's United's best moment of the second half, and it's come with 12 of the match to play.
It is, yeah. They're just sitting in, basically. You know, United hoping for the draw, maybe hoping that you know, as it gets towards the final moments, that you know, they manage to conjure up something. But they've been anonymous, really, in an attacking sense in the second half. United, and you know, for me, Shaden Morris has lit the place up. That substitution that Jimmy Tilleen made has certainly worked, and I think it's just unfortunate for Aberdeen that they haven't managed to get something from his darting runs and hitting the byline and putting in some very decent crosses.
He really has, and that was the thing he was criticised for as he struggled in Aberdeen, was his final delivery, but it certainly looks to be better, that's for sure, and he's got pace to burn. Here's Rubičić for Aberdeen. 11 left. Is there to be a winner, or will it be a point apiece? Clarkson for Aberdeen, left of the centre circle to Rubičić. Aberdeen have Rangers here on Wednesday. Dundee United are at home to Motherwell. Aberdeen, of course, have that semi-final against Celtic in the League Cup to look forward to next Saturday evening, this time next week. Devlin goes back to Shinnie, level with the edge of the circle in the United half. The ball is struggling a little bit in the soaking turf now. Passes are needing a little bit more on them to reach their intended targets. McGrath finds Nielsen in the centre circle. Forward it comes, Clarkson going after it, but Strain is there to roll it back to his keeper, who fires it high forward first time. Devlin wins the header. Shinnie in the centre circle. His ball forwards cut out by Thompson for United, looking for Strain to his right. Strain has it, looking for Stevenson. The header away by Rubičić. Nielsen goes down, free kick to Aberdeen, left of the centre circle. To come tomorrow, Hibs Hearts midday, first Edinburgh derby of the season. Motherwell Celtic and Rangers St Mirren kicking off at 3. All those matches live on Sunday Sports Sound here on BBC Radio Scotland. And it is United on this near side with Thompson. Now with Van der Sande for Strain. Side football to Sevels, now to Strain. Strain has a little dink forward, looking for Van der Sande's cut out. Mackenzie with a slide. Thompson's onto it, but he loses it to Shinnie and then Nielsen. And now McGrath's got Morris away. He's driving forward.
That's ridiculous.
By Sevels. And he's perhaps been asking for this all night. He's going to get a yellow card here, the Croatian, you would imagine. And Aberdeen are going to make their final changes. Peter Ambrose and Vincent Bezowen will come on. And Jamie McGrath coming off. Bezowen comes on. And Peter Ambrose is yet to really show the Aberdeen supporters the best of his ability. I think he's going to replace Duke. Willie Miller.
Yeah, Ambrose, I haven't seen you know, too much from him. He's been a bit part player so far this season. Sorry, I'm still reeling at that challenge when Morris is herring away and Seville's puts which must be the most cynical tackle that I've seen all season, and he just gets a yellow card for it. There'd been an opportunity, I think, for Morris to open up that United defence, because they were pretty wide open at the time.
Aberdeen have it with Nielsen. Seville was booked there. 82 now played, 0-0. Aberdeen making those changes. Peter Ambrose actually scored more goals in the Hungarian top flight the season before he arrived here than Bojan Miovski did. And he came from that division. Shinnie with the ball, left-hand side of the box. It's with Jack McKenzie's ball across is cut out now with Clarkson. Clarkson drifted in looking for Ambrose and headed away. United have defended well tonight. Away by Holt. Now with Rubezic. Taking his time over it, left of the centre circle, turns it out to Malloy. Infield to Nielsen. Nielsen then to Gavin Malloy. Out to the left-hand side for Bazoun. First touch of the ball for him. Another of these Aberdeen players who looked as though his career here was over. It's been reignited by Yemi Telin, who's got the hood up to defend himself against the elements. It is Shinnie for Aberdeen. It's going to be late drama again here, as there was against Hearts when Aberdeen won it late on. That was a game they trailed in. Bazoun rolling it back infield to Malloy, to Nielsen, to Malloy. Malloy then out to this near side for McKenzie. Clarkson there in support if he wants him, and he does. Finds Clarkson just behind him, and then he rolls it back to Malloy. United with everyone behind the ball. Malloy with a cross, a good one as well, the back post, and Ambrose is there, and Ambrose scores! Yemi Telin had just sent him on, and Peter Ambrose sweeps the ball home from inside the 6-yard box, and Aberdeen look like now with just over 5 minutes to play as though they're going to go steaming to the top of the table tonight. It is Aberdeen 1, Dundee United 0.
Well, he's not a bit part player anymore, is he? He's came on, he's made an immediate impact, but Nicky Devlin does so well, doesn't he? At the back post, the cross from Malloy, sweet left foot from Malloy, that curling cross towards the back post from a deep position. Devlin is in, wins it, plays it back across the face, and there he is, the substitute Ambrose, just as simply just sweep it into the back of the net to give Aberdeen the lead. Listen, they've battered United for most of this second half, haven't they? And eventually that battering has allowed Aberdeen, and great play from Devlin. It is Devlin at the back post that gets in there, isn't it? It is, and Ambrose is in the right place at the right time.
Do you know what? Everything Jimmy Telin does turns to gold just now, doesn't it? Let's be honest. He's just chucked on Ambrose and he scores what looks to be the winner. But they've probed, you're right, Willie. I thought United were going to get a well-earned point out of it. I wouldn't say deserved, but well-earned, because their defending has been brilliant. We said one bit of quality, and what a quality cross it is. Devlin's got to attack it. Ferry doesn't want to give away the penalty. It comes off, Devlin breaks to Ambrose, and the super sub just rolls it into the empty net. And some 3 points this for Aberdeen.
Well, if Aberdeen win this one, it will have been their best start to a league season since 1971, when they won 8 and drew 1 of their first 9. If they win this, that's going to be the record this season. They will have eclipsed 2015-16, when they won their first 8 league fixtures under Derek McInnes. The wheels came off a little bit in the autumn after that. But this, again, well, it's the desire to win the football match, and it was the same in Dingwall, it was the same against Hearts here. Late goals, late drama, still time for United here, of course, but it's that desire that Aberdeen have shown since the break to win this game that might well have just plundered 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, it's that positive mental approach to the game. You're looking at Gavin Malloy, who's a centre back, who plays the cross to the full back, who cuts it back for the substitute that comes on to finish. So, it tells you the intent, because both full-backs have been, pushed right up the park, very high line for all of this second half. So Jimmy Telin obviously has that mental kind of attacking approach from the full-backs. They've both done great, and they've had fantastic seasons. young Jack McKenzie and Nicky Devlin. So it looks as though the Tulane kind of a magic has turned this game round.
Might be in again here. Ambrose finds Clarkson. Bizawan to his left. That's when it goes eventually. United have men behind the ball now. It's Bizawan. Aberdeen, 87 minutes played. Looking for another one here to seal it. Bizawan goes for a goal. It's just wide. Fabulous attempt there from Vinny Bizawan. The goalkeeper is so relieved it's gone the other side of the post. Goal kick, and stays Aberdeen 1, United 0.
Oh, it's an amazing effort, isn't it? It's just, you know, a little 1-2 down the left-hand side, and then it popped for the other substitute that's just come on, and you know exactly what he's trying to do with the right foot. It's curling it towards the back post, and he's a little bit unlucky to see it just scrape by that far post. But listen, it's been intense from Aberdeen the second half again. It's been a very, very good second half.
Yeah, they've been so much better. They've been better in second halves, I think, by and large this season. Morris misunderstanding with Shinnie, gives it straight to Stevenson, midway inside the United half. The United give it away almost immediately. They look like they've put so much into this defensively that now they've got to come out of that shape and try and find an equaliser. They don't look like they're able to, as Clarkson tries to knock it across into the box. Cut out and out for a throw-in over on the far side.
It's been simple and basic and positive from Aberdeen. Even the Bezo shot there, I mean, it's just a little roll for, I think it was Nielsen, just to set him back, just touches and bends it. It's just been like, we're going to try and score a goal, we're at you, and we'll hopefully get the break, and they have done.
Devlin, right hand side of the box, back to Ambrose, takes a first touch with the right, tries to shoot with the left, it's blocked. United get it away. Another Aberdeen goal would settle it. It's all the way back with Malloy on the halfway line. He goes back to his keeper. Dimitar Mitov celebrated that strike wildly when it went in up the other end. We're hurtling now towards the 90th minute. Nielsen goes back to Mitov in these conditions. I'm not sure he wanted that, but he's controlled it and plays it short to Rubičić. Over on that far side. Ball forward is cut out, and United will get it back here. Jim Goodwin down there, arms folded. It's been a fabulous return to the top flight for Dundee United. They still have some time to play with here, but the seconds are ticking away. We're in the 90th minute. They trail 1-0 as Bizawan goes long with the clearance. Declan Gallagher's onto it and plays it short to his right for O'Dada. He turns it back to Gallagher. Do United have it in them, Billy Dodds, to find an equaliser here? They've barely been up the pitch in the second half.
They're getting players in forward positions now. It's whether they can conjure up an opportunity. They've not looked like it. They've not really tried this second half, but I thought they were going to nick a point by a stout defensive rear guard, but they look as if they're going to drop 3 points. But there's still a chance. So it'll be interesting to see how many minutes added time there is.
At the moment, it's looking like 4 additional minutes. Malloy clears for Aberdeen. Gallagher's cushion header to Sevelj. Spins away from Clarkson, who slides in with a challenge. Sevelj emerges with it still, though. Out to Strain on this near side. Peter Ambrose's second Aberdeen goal. His other one came in a rout of Dumbarton in the League Cup groups. 4 confirmed, by the way. We're into the first of them. Here come United. It's a great ball. Left-hand side. Stevenson tries to pull it back to Van der Sande, but it's blocked by Malloy. Found himself in a wonderful area. Offside flag's gone up in any case. Yeah. It's an argument to say he could have gone himself there.
He could have or just made it a better pass.
It's close, so will it?
Yeah, he is off.
Just off.
You know, but it's good attacking play, isn't it? It's good intent from United. They haven't shown, for me, enough of that in the second half. I think they had settled. You know, it looked as though the manager and the team had settled for the draw, and they'd be quite happy, you know, with Pittodrie with that draw. You know, but you take a gamble doing that, you know, because Aberdeen have battered them in the second half, and eventually something's come off for them, and they've managed to get that goal. Now they're trying to salvage a point from the game, and that was a good opportunity, but definitely offside. But Malloy did really well again to spot the danger and you know, and block the cross anyway.
There's Jack McKenzie doing some defending on this near side against Miller Thompson, who emerges with the ball. He's on the touchline, 3 Aberdeen players around him, and he's knocked it out of play himself. Jim Goodwin claiming, I think, for a free kick for his team. He's not getting one. We're halfway through the second minute of 4 that were added on at the end. Aberdeen here, Willie Miller standing on the brink of a 12th successive home victory. and 9 out of 9 at Pittodrie this season. Their last defeat was against Craig Levine St Johnstone here last season. I'm not sure if anyone had come to you and said that this would be the Aberdeen Pittodrie record after that night, whether you would have agreed with that or not. You would have probably said they should be carted away by the men in white coats, I think.
Nah, but it's been brilliant, isn't it? And it has been simple enough football. You know, I think Jimmy Tillane has brought that kind of approach to the game, where yes, you're organised, yes, you've got to defend at times, but when you get the ball, you know, take it to the opposition, and always take it to the opposition.
Here come United, though. It's a clip ball by Will Ferry to the edge of the Aberdeen box, misjudged by Nielsen and Devlin. Devlin gets back onto it, though, and gets it clear with the right foot. Holt is underneath it with a header. Forward it goes to Van der Sanduyl, loses it to his opposite number 20, Morris, who has been outstanding, and he's looking to spring Ambrose here. Ambrose driving away from Seveld. He's inside the box here, goes down. Seveld, I think, got a touch of the ball, though. No, he's pointed at the spot, says the ref. Stephen McLean says penalty. It looked as though Seveldja got a touch on the ball, but Stephen McLean says penalty kick, and a chance for Aberdeen potentially to seal the deal here.
I thought it was a penalty, Willie, as soon as it happened. I think I'll leave him now, and he doesn't. And he's been clumsy all game, Sevels.
Yep, he has.
He did well to match Ambrose initially. Whether there's an offside or not, it's close, but once he gets there, I'm thinking, just leave him now, but he doesn't. It's in a hard place to score, and he just gets to grip with him, and
he tangles.
Clumsy.
Yeah, he tangles. It is clumsy. He tangles with him. There's not much of a challenge there, but there's certainly contact as Ambrose goes into the. He pulls the jersey.
Pulled the shirt.
Yeah, I didn't see the jersey is pulled. He's dragged him to the ground. It is. It's just silly, you know, and it's a definite penalty. The referee has picked up on that, and he's obviously not offside. But it's Morris again that puts him in. Morris has been electric in the second half.
I think they're having a look at it.
Yeah.
I think it might be off looking at it.
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah, very tight.
Vicente Bazouin's hoping he's on, because he's standing over the ball, which is on the penalty spot. And still we wait just for confirmation of whether it's offside. There doesn't seem to be any question there was a foul. When you see the tug on the shirt on the replay, I think it's pretty clear, therefore, that it was a foul. We're still waiting to clear up the offside, and whether Peter Ambrose went just a fraction too soon. Aberdeen 1, Dundee United 0. We've played the 4 minutes. We've played the 4 minutes of stoppage time. Stephen McLean's got his right hand to his ear. And it looks as though this penalty is going to be overturned. Offside's going to be given, I think, for this one. So it will be no penalty for Aberdeen here, and no chance for the big finale. Vicente Bazouin was certainly hoping for Ambrose. Offside, no penalty, and it stays Aberdeen 1, United 0. And the question now is, how much time have Dundee United got left to play with? We're well over the stoppage time.
Well, they're going to launch this, aren't they? Look at the numbers forward now. They get off with that. Could have been the game to bed for Aberdeen with the penalty. Suddenly Dundee United get last chance saloon, don't they?
Well, they're going to potentially get one more chance. We've played 5 minutes of stoppage time. 4 were initially added. There'll probably be another minute left from this point. Aberdeen now protecting a 1-0 lead. United looking for a late equaliser. It was the late show for them last week as well. Rubičić with a header half away, breaks out for a United throw in on this near side. There's a head knock in the edge of the box. And I think
it's
Rubičić and Holt,
isn't it, and Holt have came together. It did look like a head clash, you know, that both of them, you know, big, tall, strong defenders as well. So it looked a sore one.
As if might have lost a few teeth there, I'll tell you.
Right in the back of Holt's head, perhaps.
Yeah, it was. He attacked it, he wanted it.
Oh, yeah, just saw a replay of it. Not great. I don't know how long's left. I mean, that's in the lap of the gods. United have a throw in. I'm not sure how long it's going to take to sort this out. The clash of heads in the edge of the penalty area between Holt and Rubičić has resulted in the Serbian-born Montenegro international receiving treatment, and Aberdeen will hope he is okay. That huge game against Rangers to come here on Wednesday. If they can see this out, what a game that could be. Rangers are at home to St Mirren tomorrow. Rubičić looks as though he's just going to soldier on for The last little period's going to have to come off the pitch first, though. So
and
Aberdeen without him in the box for this long throw.
And this is when but again, they've only got one in that front area. And if Rubens it's off, I'd be throwing it definitely now. Maybe a few more going now because they're desperate for a goal, but I don't think they'll get the numbers. Might be wrong.
Will Ferry over the throw. So a lot of this in the first half, not so much in the second. United looking for an equaliser here. Ferry bowls it into the box. In it comes, it's flicked towards his own goal by McKenzie, but Aberdeen get it away. In comes the cross. Meatop comes to punch, gets something on it. Shinnie heads it away, breaks to Middleton. Left hand side of the area, he's away from two. Left hand side, pulls it back. Chance here at the back post, and Ferry puts it over. He slipped just as he was going to hit it, and he goes over the bar onto the roof of the stand. And Aberdeen are going to win this game. It's 1-0. We've played 7.5 minutes of stoppage time. 4 were added. That might be it, Willie Miller.
I think it's looking like it, isn't it? Ferry with the opportunity there, but it's the conditions, isn't it? The rain has poured down. He slipped as he went with the left foot, and he's ballooned it over the bar. But it's been a very good second half performance from Aberdeen. A little bit disappointed with United in terms of their attitude. I think they looked as though they were quite happy with a draw, and it's kind of a turn against them with Aberdeen getting that goal.
That's it. The roar of support that has just seen their team go top of the league. Aberdeen have beaten Dundee United. That late Peter Ambrose goal has produced another 3 points, and they're now unbeaten in 15 games under Jimmy Tillane, winning 14 of them after a really good effervescent second half performance with Shayden Morris at the beating heart of it. And Ambrose was the man within a few minutes of coming on to slide it home in front of the beach end to seal their latest victory. And a 12th home win in succession. 9 out of 9 this season at Pittodrie. An 8th win in a row in league business here at this stadium. They haven't lost a league game since March. In fact, the only thing they've lost since March is a penalty shootout at Hampden against Celtic, which, heartbreaking as it was another 90 minutes and then extra time they didn't lose in. So you've got to go back to the defeat at Dens Park in March to find an Aberdeen loss. And they've just beaten Dundee's neighbours United here. Always such a keenly contested fixture, whether it's here or down the road at Tannadice. But for some reason, this man from Sweden seems to have the magic touch. His subs made the difference again tonight, as they did last week, as they have done in other games in what's been a really short-lived tenure. He's now gone past Mark McGee's win tally as Aberdeen manager here, having already gone past Alec Miller, Stephen Glass and Jim Goodwin in double quick time. But most importantly for Aberdeen, and maybe just for 22 or 23 hours, it could be, but they are top of the league. It finished here at Pittodrie Stadium. Aberdeen 1, Dundee United 0.
Every goal,